I think if you eat seafood, I think it works.
I don't have to take Blue Chew anymore if I'm eating seafood.
I don't know what that is, but I drink a ton of Mountain Dew now.
It shrinks your balls.
Actually, I don't have to worry anymore.
You got snipped?
I was nervous we would talk about it here because no one will ever get it done after I tell what happened on Monday of this week. But do you want to hear about it?
It can't be as bad. It can't be as bad as when I was in Houston. There was a dude who got that done and something went wrong, and one of his nuts became this big.
That happens a lot.
It can't be that bad because you're looking decent.
No, I can cross almost all the way.
And all right. Battle raps because I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, because the ice on which they skating is so...
How do you know? You see I got the Tyso cards right here.
Get out of here.
Yeah, bro.
I never know if some of the stuff that Ricky does is just straight comedy or if he actually has like the Tyso cards and all that. He's gonna kill me because I didn't even know that was it. We share a birthday, me and Rick.
How do you know him?
So we grew up together.
You're from Ohio.
From Ohio. I'm from Cleveland.
Nice.
And he's the man. He's exactly who he says he was and who he is. He's wild and but super interesting and probably the most endearing guy. But Take Your Shoes Off is like one of the only podcasts I was watching. Now I watch yours.
I appreciate it. To be in the same category as Tyso that's big for me.
Yeah,
that's strong.
I got my weird channel subscriptions, but no, he's one of them. His stuff's awesome, and you guys put in some work. But like that, when I was coming in here, I was wondering what your setup looked like.
Yeah.
And then I mentioned when I walked in, I'm like, should I take my shoes off?
Yeah, that's right.
But, you know, he does it all from his home and he kills it with the edits.
Neurotic Jew, but not that neurotic. You don't have to take your shoes off here.
Yeah, he is, though.
Yeah. That's, that's my most favorite thing about watching podcasts is you are getting the exact person that person is. Like, you're trying to exaggerate your personality a little bit, but from watching any podcast, you're really seeing that person's brain work. It's not necessarily like the words that are coming out of their mouth, but it's how they're saying it or what direction they're going in or whatever. Like, that's my favorite part about watching podcasts.
Yeah, it's definitely real. When I watch yours, I'm like, you're so calm. Right? Like you have like such an even flow and I'm like, I'll just talk.
Yeah.
So like I always wanted to do a podcast and I'm like, I should do my own. And I'm like, I think people would just hate me. I just keep talking. I wouldn't let the guests talk, but no, you're so even keel with it. I watched one of your episodes. Two of your buddies were on and one of them's a comedian. He does a thing with his tongue. And I was watching it and I was like, if you were wild and crazy, that would not have worked.
Yeah, those two were insane. Mac and Nick and Max. Oh my God, bro. That episode, I was like trying to wrangle it in and get it to go in a certain direction and they just got derailed every time.
Yeah, that was wild. No, Rick's great. And now I started watching podcasts when he goes on other people's. Because he's friends with such good comedians too, and I watch he's on TV and does some shows as well. But
that's crazy that you grew up with Rick. That's fucking
we were
awesome.
good friends, and we go to his shows when he's in town. He comes over once in a while if we're good enough for him when he's in town.
That's dope. So,
my kids sing his theme song. Like every time I put it on, they're in the other room. Scoop, dude. Yeah, it's so funny.
That's hilarious, bro. That's hilarious. All right, so you're from Cincinnati. Cleveland. I'm sorry, not Cincinnati, my bad. You're from Cleveland, and when did you get to Chicago?
So I went out to school. I did undergrad at KU in Kansas, and then went back to Cleveland for a little while, did private wealth, and then was just bored and moved out to Chicago 2008. And there was just like a lull in the club scene. And like the restaurants and bars, it was kind of run by, it was like suburban kids from Illinois that were like trying to run the scene in Chicago. And it wasn't a business.
Yeah. And what was like the pop-in? You're talking like nightclubs and stuff, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
What was at its heyday in 2008?
Enclave.
Okay.
Enclave was it.
Okay.
I mean, it was I think 800 person capacity. Then they had the bottom floor as well. They brought in all the big, I mean, Kim K was in there before. I mean, she was still Kim Kardashian, but like he had.
This is pre-sex tape?
No.
So post-sex tape's big. That's big Kim K.
Oh, yeah. I think pre-sex tape. Who knows? Who knew her? Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, Enclave was it. We had crazy celebs through there all the time. I mean, they had like Lady Gaga and LMFAO before they were big, just performing. But Enclave was huge, and then
and you were working there? You were promoting there? What was
so
going
I
on?
was doing like consulting for restaurants, and I would go in. It's kind of like if you ever see like Bar Rescue, he does this thing in a week. That doesn't happen. We'd go in, we'd spend 3-4 weeks with a concept, then we'd put in changes, do events and marketing for them, and then we have to show people how we've changed this restaurant. We have to reintroduce like, you know, the general public to it. So I ended up doing so much work in marketing and promotions to get people in. I realized, you know, this is even more important than the changes I'm making to either their finances or to their staffing or training. And so I brought it into the clubs too, and you know, kind of aging myself here, but Facebook was pretty new. Yeah. You know, like early 2000s. Yeah. So I was kind of ahead of the game using Facebook, and it's different than promoters now. I was bringing like 300-400 people to a club at the time, and I had a partner who's helping me with it. But nowadays, you're lucky if they bring you like 15 and 20.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
So we started doing the promotions, and I was making, you know, big bucks doing that.
Good money.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Carmen was on here, and he said that he was promoting at Enclave as well, which was Wingman, right? Was that your competition?
So Wingman was it. I knew Chris Bader from Wingman. He's another. He knows Rick Glassman as well.
Okay.
We joke
and he's
about
a
it all the
comedian.
time. Dude, I think Chris is hilarious.
Yeah.
I like that humor, you know? Like, hit me with that, you know, Middle Eastern racist shit that he hits me with, and I'll take it all day. He's funny as hell. He's always asking about my wife, like he knows her and stuff. He's funny. So Wingman was they had their thing. They had like spring break. Like Rossi and Chris had that. I don't know if you've ever heard of Outfit. Dante was part of Outfit, and Anthony. So Outfit events, they kind of had a good thing going for a while there too. And then you had like Dennis Stasic and those guys from another level. They had a clothing store. They did apparel. They were big. You know, he had a state, and then him and Eddie used to come into District, which is a bar I was working at, and always talk about opening across the street. And we were like, it's never going to happen. And now, you know, 10, 15 years later, he's got fame. Yeah, yeah. And he had Trophy Room, right? Yeah. I used to work at Trophy Room all the time. He had Trophy Room. So another level was big. I mean, Brian from Surreal was there. But if you look at it, each of them had these pockets, but none of them had like the Big 10 or the Big 12 college campuses coming here, right? They had the Iowa and whatever. I had like all of Ohio State and Michigan and Kansas and Indiana. And through Facebook marketing, through my friends, my network, from being from Ohio and knowing, you know, all these people. I was always out in New York traveling before I moved here. And so we brought a different thing to this. I worked on the club side. So where promoters will go in and get like kind of a bad name, like they just show up with their buddies, they get plastered, and then they just try and make a bunch of money giving out comps. I would work with the clubs, and I was always making business sense. Yeah. I was bringing in big events. I was working with the local colleges like Chicago Booth and Northwestern, bringing in like the Thursday night stuff. Just always working an angle to help them out. But we did about 2.5 million a year in sales. We do a lot of bottle service stuff, but you know. And how old are you in 2008? Oh, I don't want to do math. I'm hitting 40 in July. Okay. So I was in my mid-20s. Mid-20s. Yeah. You got a promo company. What's the name of the company? It was called Chill Productions. Chill Productions. CHIIL, like Chicago, Illinois. Yeah, and then was still around, but was Marvin a part of that? Yeah, okay, because I remember when I first started getting into the scene downtown DJing, I was introduced to Marvin. He was promoting at I think Paris Club. Yes, you guys were at Paris. Yeah. Yeah, we were the only ones. That was the thing, is they didn't have any promoters. Just me. Right. Yeah. How'd you get in there? So We did Enclave. I was at Manor on Fridays with Stay upstairs, which was legit.
Yeah.
And then obviously we helped open Boardroom, and we were there a couple nights a week. So we did the late night clubs and like Cuvée, when Cuvée opened, we did their Wednesdays. We always had our hand in the nightclub openings, but what made us different is I would put a restaurant before it. So when Mercadito opened, like we would go to Mercadito, bring a big crowd, develop their Taco Tuesday, and then go out. Or like when Untitled opened, we launched Unbridled, which was their burlesque show and their like vaudeville show. And then we would take, 100-something people there, and then we'd separate out to the clubs. So if you bring a couple hundred people to a place, you're going to sell 5-10 tables just to them for the after party. And then there was another after party after the party.
Because we got late night in Chicago.
Late nights.
Yeah.
We used to have late nights.
Yeah, there's still a couple spots, but the reality is not a lot of people are going out that late anymore.
There's some lost ones. Czar's gone. Czar was a short-lived, but
what space was that in?
I don't know what it's called. Light now, I think it's called Light.
Is late night? Does Light have a 4 a.m.?
I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay,
I haven't been there.
Yeah,
it's been. It was
we don't go to Light. No, I'm just kidding.
But we were doing Hearts. We opened Hearts. I always gave it a try for the owners because they were like, "We want your crowd."
Where was Hearts at?
I had the crowd.
I remember Hearts. That was like short-lived, right?
In 15 years, I never had one person I brought to a club get in a fight. And if they were going to, I probably walked them out.
Yeah.
We had such a good crowd, and I think that changed a little bit.
It's tough to find a good crowd. I mean, take it from me. I'm out in these clubs a couple nights a week looking at these crowds, and I'm like, what happened to this place?
Yeah.
It's tough to find a good crowd.
Yeah.
These days. Because I think there's a lot less people going out is definitely one reason. It's hard,
For sure, they're looking for something different. Like so we were doing Sub 51. And
that was the spot.
RJ and I both went to Kansas. We had a lot of common friends, and him and Jared Malman approached me and said, you want to do something with us? And I don't think Gladys had ever worked with anyone, and I wasn't really a promoter. I was more of like a marketing consultant, so it kind of worked for their brand to bring in the right people. And I was like, let me help develop Sub, and we did. And our Friday nights, you're talking about. If there were 15 tables in there, we had 14 bachelorette parties. By 9:30, the place was full. And I would call my guys. I'm like, are you single? Because there's 200 girls in here and I don't have any spenders yet. And so Sub was great. And when they talked about opening studio, I'm like, pick me.
Yeah.
And so I had their Wednesdays and Saturday nights. Fridays at Sub, they wouldn't let me out of that. And then we started doing Sunday afternoon parties. At Studio as well. And I mean, everyone knows what happened with Studio. It was probably, I think, the best club that Chicago ever had. It
was definitely the top tier club. I think it was always like that battle between Paris and Underground, right?
Oh, for sure. Well, kind of, right? So like we did nights at Underground too, and I still keep in touch with Arturo. And
I'm having him on the pod in a couple weeks.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Him and I are supposed to do coffee, and we keep doing this thing like, hey, let's catch up, because I wanted to hear like about EDs and different things. He's at Celeste now.
Yeah, I was trying to get him to let us film on a private jet.
Oh yeah, because
he's got that company.
That'd be cool.
He said the budget may work better if we do it here.
It's probably he was going to charge you for it. See, he's always
a smart guy.
He is. He's great. And the thing is, Underground was late night. Studio closed. Right. And Lettuce doesn't.
And then you walk through that alley.
Like time to close. Follow the rules. Close. Pizza for the staff. They did something different at Studio. It was bringing not just the right crowd in. It was like their servers. It was real hospitality. They weren't just after your tip. It wasn't just about like the next nightclub opened and we're going to move over. These were rookies coming in there as bottle girls, and I'm friends with all of them today, and some of them married some of our friends, and like it is just a wholesome girl next door mentality, and that allowed the customers, the guests, to feel like guests instead of feel like you were just, because hey, those bills weren't, you're talking $3,000-$4,000 tables back then, and and we had just I loved it there.
Yeah, that was definitely the top tier club of Chicago, 100%.
I mean, 100%. And they started bringing great talent in and all that. And I think that was awesome. And you could say the promoters killed it eventually, because that did eventually happen. But
How
I think
so?
with time, you end up needing, your crowd gets older, you age out. And so they probably had other people helping. And I think once I felt like they were letting other people in besides just me, I was like, I can't control it anymore. And maybe that's a cocky thing to say, but I felt like it takes away that wholesomeness and that like organic growth when we let the other guys in. But it was time. I mean, they had a nice run.
Yeah. Very strong.
I have the younger generation that asks me all the time, like, when are they going to reopen?
There's always like rumbles. There's talks of that, right? Like, they still own the space. It's like
they reopened once, and I brought in like some of like my marketing director and her friends, and I brought like some friends flew in town, and we went, and they were like, "Dude, it's back. This is amazing. We heard about it. It's just as great as the stories." But, you know, they just do it for a short time.
Yeah, I did go in there when they did the reopening. They sort of rearranged it a little bit. They moved the bar. They they took that wall down that sort of divided the two rooms, and they moved the bar into the middle. And it still felt awesome. But then I guess COVID is really what killed a lot of shit.
It's funny when you think about the clubs and how the owners will go in and like people will change. They think we need to change everything because like every customer is going to come in and be like, you should have done this. And everyone thinks they know better. And so they go to such lengths to change it and make it different and try new things. And at the end of the day, like, it's a lot of luck. It's a lot of timing. Like it's all timing. I mean, we opened a club. So about the time studio was kind of maybe on the downturn or getting ready to close up shop, their former GM, Ben Foreman, and I opened a nightclub where Boardroom was, because Boardroom had closed.
I remember this.
It was called Smoky Hollow, and it was lights out. I mean, the lighting, the sound, it was like, I think we only had like 7 tables total, but around the whole perimeter was all stage. So there's all this crazy vaudeville stuff happening around you. And it was awesome, but the alderman and the liquor commissioner wouldn't give us the 4 a.m. And that's like what it needed. And so...
Because Boardroom was 4 a.m., right?
Boardroom was 4 a.m.
So how does that work? I mean, you're in the same space. You have that license, don't you? Because the license is tied to the building.
They would have had to transfer it. It's tied to the building, but it's also tied to an operator. And that operator, they didn't like so much. So
they kind of put the kibosh on him transferring the license over because they didn't want to deal with another late night, basically, whatever bullshit that.
And we had thought we were in, you know, we were doing everything by the book. We were working with the city and doing all that. And you see all these things happen today. I mean, we are like, I'm a charity worker. I'm like the most philanthropic guy in the room compared to what you see now. I mean, these clubs are there'll be multiple shootings at a club and they're still open. I mean, in 2010 and 12 and 15, when we were talking, when we were going out, if there was one incident in a club, they were closed for good. Not because the city wanted them, because no one would go there anymore. And now you see it happening all the time. Like, it's like, oh, there was a shooting here. Oh, there was a shooting here.
It's unfortunate, but that's like the culture. It's just become normal now. It's like the normalization of it, which is insane. That's an insane thought, is to be like, yeah, you could get shot. You're going to go party tonight and you could get shot. It happens.
Yeah. It could happen anywhere. And I'm kind of on both sides of it. Like, I want to downplay it because I think Chicago's the best city in the country. Yeah. I mean, hands down, arts, entertainment, our restaurants crush everybody's. I don't care what they say about New York. I mean, I love San Francisco's restaurants and New York's restaurants. And I love traveling and eating everywhere. And I mean, we get 15, 20 new restaurants every year that blow my mind, and everyone's doing their thing. And so I think we're one mayor away from getting Chicago back. So don't get me started there. Sorry, I was late today. I was on the freeway. They closed the express lanes, for the last couple weeks, but for the next 6 months, because I guess the mayor can't read the room.
Yeah.
With everything that's going on, they just thought, let's just do all this construction,
It's always, summertime has always been construction season.
Man, my commute was 35 minutes, and now it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I was living in the city for 15 years. I just moved out, and I'm not far, but it's wild. But yeah, I think we're one mayor away from getting Chicago back, and I think it's an amazing city. And I think our tourism is it's not just like people coming with their cameras like to look at Navy Pier and Wrigley Field and all this stuff. We get travelers. Like I do a huge thing on St. Patty's Day every year. It's 10,000 people. I've been doing it, almost 2 decades now, and it's the biggest St. Patrick's Day in the country. And people come from all over just to party, just to see the river. People come, just to see our beach, just to come to Shore Club and do stuff like that. And I don't want them to get the wrong idea.
Yeah.
There's a reason we're still living. There's a reason you moved back here.
100%. I know. It's like, it's so crazy because this city is the most amazing city. There's no doubt about it. It's the best city in this country, hands down, for sure, undoubtedly. But we get a bad rap sometimes, and then there's sometimes justification for it, sometimes there's not. But
yeah,
it does kind of suck when you see it being destroyed in front of your eyes a little bit. And I'm not even like a business owner with a storefront in the city, you know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine how much more weight it holds for you. But it's something's got to give. I hope we're one mayor away. I hope it's only one. Because
it'll take some time.
Everyone thought after Lightfoot, like, all right, this has been insane. It's been insane. Let's get it back here. And
we should just get Carmen in here, right? Because he's like connected.
He's connected.
he's
sure.
One mayor away.
He could be the mayor that we're looking for, that we need.
He's a riot. I think you're right.
Yeah.
We have a restaurant. Once Smokey closed, I opened Shore Club, and then after we opened Shore Club,
was Shore Club open before JoJo's?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Smokey closed within like the first. I tried to erase it from my memory.
I remember Dolo doing the opening. This was when I was like new to the scene. I'm DJing at Parlor. I came from Stout. They opened up Parlor. I'm at Parlor on like a Friday night. And I remember Dolo doing the opening of that spot, and I was so jealous.
Smokey is way ahead of its time. There's a spot in New York called The Box.
Yes, I've been there.
And
I've seen some things.
Because you and I don't know who you were talking to on your pod about it, but you guys were talking about changing Liquor Box to call it The Box.
That's
right.
About
the name.
That's right.
And I was like, is there a phone that I can call in and tell?
That's right. There is The Box in New York.
So Ben and I flew out with our assistant at the time, Danielle, to The Box. And of course, we had to buy like a bottle of 42 to get in for just 3 of us on a Tuesday. So we barely made it out of there alive. But, we were soaked in, shaving
fluids.
Cream. And yeah, that place is.
It's weird. They do like a show.
Oh, it's a full on sex show.
Yeah.
And like, it's crazy. I try and talk about, like, tell the stories. And you never feel right after you tell those stories.
Yeah.
But
people look at you weird. You're like, I swear, I didn't know it was going to happen. I didn't go there for that.
It was like a little person doing the national anthem, but naked while there's like a sex act happening. And then, So that's what we wanted to do. And I don't know if Chicago was ready for it at the time, but without a 4 a.m., you can't do that stuff at 10 o'clock at night.
Correct.
And so we closed that down, and now you're seeing so many other places that are like supper clubs and other things that are doing more live music. Everyone's got a violin or a sax or something, because everyone has to work so hard to compete now. The bar is so high, not just for clubs, but for restaurants mainly. So when that closed down, actually even before I started talking about Shore Club, which was this property on North Avenue Beach that was unbuilt. It was just an asphalt pad. And the owners of Enclave, one of the guys, he was a partner there, things weren't really ending well for them. He had Enclave and Cuvée, Nick Thayer. I don't know if you remember Nick. He was the guy who wrote all the checks too. So like any of the vendors promoters, marketing, DJs, celebrities, they all went to him. And so I had gotten to know him, but really knew operations, security, large scale, large volume stuff like Enclave, and was running 3 nightclubs at the same time. So I was like, I need this guy on my team. I called him. I said, let's do lunch. He said, all right, I just want you to know I'm going to help Carmen and Chris open Joy. So I'm working for them. And so I was like, you don't want to do that. So we talked. He was helping them. And I think he did.
You stole him, huh?
But we opened Shore Club together.
Nice.
And we have a third partner who was in the wedding business. And Shore Club was this opportunity to take one of the most iconic places in all of Chicago. I mean, it's really like the best beach in the Midwest. I mean, how many beaches are there?
Beaches on lakes. You feel like you're on the ocean when you're at the beach.
Oh yeah,
in Chicago, which is a crazy concept.
When you fly in and you look down on Chicago, you see like any of these like amazing photographers. It's unbelievable, and it's blue water. Like people from out of state always come by and they're like, dude, I feel like I'm in Greece. Like I didn't know you guys had a white sand beach and beautiful water. So I didn't either. I mean, for years when I was living here, we didn't go to the beach, because there wasn't that type of experience there.
You went to Castaways. Was really the only thing. Well, people would go there. It was really the only like party on the beach. They had a DJ, but it's kind of like, I don't want to say trashy, but it's like it's not an elevated riff-raff is a good word. Yeah.
And I've gotten to know them. They've cleaned it up over the years, and they're coming back with a new look. And but before I went to the beach, I rented out the big boats on Navy Pier, and I did shipwrecked boat parties. Did you ever DJ one of those?
No.
So it was like Perseus and Superflu and all these like different house heads from out of the country. We brought people in, and then the guys from Primary, Derek, and even Derek Barry, who does like his stuff now. Like
Derek Barry he did the pop-up, right?
Yeah, he does the pop-ups now.
And does he own Beauty Bar? Or was he just working closely with them?
And I think he was part of it.
Okay. Because I haven't heard that name for a minute.
Saved by the Bell. I still talk to him.
The Saved by the Bell pop-up.
I'm doing stuff with him now.
Yeah, that dude was doing like legendary shit.
Yeah, he works for Bucket Listers, and we partner up on all kinds of stuff. They killed it with this Barbie thing nationwide.
Tight.
He's super talented.
Yeah.
And it's fun because we came from such different places. He was on the music side. I was on the events and marketing side. We worked together and we did these boat parties. And you're talking like 300-400 kids buying tickets, getting on, producing. We would bring in all the sound equipment. And we sold out for 3-4 years straight. And we were doing them like twice a month. So we were doing that. We didn't do the beach.
Yeah. And not to shit on Castaways at all, because playing there, I did play there, and that was like a milestone in my career. Like all my boys were like, "Oh shit, you're playing at Castaways!" Like that. It was the only spot on the beach where you'd go party.
Do you remember Trentino?
I just had him in here.
Did you?
Yeah, he was on Saturday. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I used to book him all the time. He used to do my New Year's events.
Yeah.
I used to buy out like as many venues as I could, like 15 venues on New Year's, and I'd put DJs and then sell tickets. And Trentino would do like Hard Rock Cafe for me or something, where like I knew I needed to go bigger, because he would do the drums too.
Dude,
he was so talented.
Big Once, who was just leaving when you got in here, worked closely with Trentino. They did Big Once in Trentino. It was called Boat. And they did the third floor LaSalle Power Co. Trentino was on the drums.
Yeah.
Big Once and him would go DJ back and forth and shit.
I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
But that was a decade ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He's great. There's such good talent. I mean, I'm sure you talk about it all the time. I mean, the DJ pool in Chicago is wild. Marvin DJs now.
He does?
He's
I
always
remember
filled in for me forever. He DJ'd at my wedding for like my after party. He's always filled in because he's such a good dude and he knows music, and he just had to learn the skill set. I got him spinning at Shore Club probably when I need him. He does Adelina.
There was definitely an after party at Marvin's crib that I went to one time.
Every night.
Where he had the DJ
for 20
equipment.
years.
He had the DJ equipment. I remember putting a stick in and fucking around on there for sure.
Marvin went to college with me, and his name spans like at least 20 states. Everyone knows that man.
Yeah.
He's great.
Yeah.
But he really understands the crowd. Sometimes you have like one skill set and not the other, and I don't pretend to know any of it. But he really knows the crowd, and it's fun. I mean, anyway. But there's great talent in the city.
Yeah, for sure. But let me try and build out a timeline here, just for the sake of the pod and the listeners. 2008, you're promoting, marketing. You got definitely a good thing going. It's pretty clear you know what you're doing.
Yeah, we had 40 venues we were consulting for. First
spot was Smoky Hollow in, what was that, 2010?
A little after, but I had invested in a few places. I mean, we had a good business. We had apparel and all stuff. So that was the first one I owned and operated myself.
Yeah. What was like?
That was 2012.
Okay. And when was the first thought of like, oh, I'm obviously good at getting people in these rooms. I know how to market. It's very clear to me. I need my own spot.
See, you don't make any money with your own spot.
Okay.
You can.
Yeah.
Right. And we should definitely get into that. I mean, I've started a lot of businesses over the years, and I kind of see the business side of it. And when you're on the marketing side, it's your time. You're making almost pure profit. And when you're running a venue, you're talking about like 10% EBITDA. If you're lucky, you're doing 20%. So it's just a different thing. But if I was doing $2.5 million in sales, cutting between 10 and 20% is a good living. And some of these venues are doing 3 or 4 if they're crushing it. Mm-hmm. I mean, the big nightclubs are doing 8+, but that doesn't happen you're talking Bottle Blonde and some of those. And I know you love that place, but
I did. We can trash Bottle Blonde all we want on here.
The AZ groups came in, and when they left us with nothing.
Yeah, how so? Well, let me pee real quick so I could pay better attention, and then I definitely want to jump right back into that.
I was wondering how long we would go before your first bathroom break. I have to pee so
bad. It's unbelievable. There's nothing that beats the feeling of being secure and protected while commuting in the city. Kinfolk Concierge is Chicagoland's premier armed chauffeur service. Their expertise range in services that provide VIP, car services, and personal protection. DM with the code STRATEGY or give them a call and let them know you saw this promo on the podcast for 30% off of your next ride. That's a 30% discount. That's a big discount. That makes a $100 ride $70. Don't hesitate to book your next elite level experience. Contact Kinfolk Concierge today. Back to the episode. Larry David's, his all-time word of advice: pee before you leave. I try and remember that every single day. Anytime I'm going to a different location, I got to get in the car or something. I'm like, I got to pee before I leave. Otherwise, I'm going to end up having to piss myself on the trip.
I do that, and then I pee 10 more times.
Yeah. I think it's a Jewish thing, to be honest.
It is. It's funny because I was watching your pods, and you were like, hey, like, you should come on. We should talk about, what you're doing. And I was like, does he really want me coming on? Like, does he know I'm Jewish? I didn't know you were.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's so much going on now, and I don't want to even get into it, but it's just like, you don't know where the friendly fire's at.
We got to stick together, which is how we've made it this far. Trentino's also Jewish. Yeah. But
and Marvin. No, I'm kidding. He did go to Highland Park.
It's Jewish enough. He's
the man.
He's
I always tell people we take anyone we can get.
Yeah, for sure.
We love everybody.
That's a fact. But not to sidetrack from exactly where I want to be before I had to interrupt. You were talking about when the AZ guys came into Chicago and left us with nothing. Because I do remember when Bottled first came, even Hefe before Bottled.
Yeah.
There was some rifts in the water. There was some tension going on there.
Great example. STK came in. I don't think anyone even knows they're still around.
Yeah.
But like these groups come in from New York, Miami, LA, big groups. They don't survive. And if they do, they're just bleeding out because they're too embarrassed to close. Scottsdale guys came in and they were successful because it was a cool concept, but it's not like they started it. Bull and Bear was legit.
Bone Bear was
Sports
the
bar,
shit.
bottle service, very inventive. We did their Tuesday nights. I was there all the time. We loved it. Public House, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the Scottsdale groups were the first to do a clubstaurant. They were actually second fiddle to like the groups that were local doing it.
That's
But
true.
they brought in a different element. They brought like Castaways to Bottle Blonde, right? Like it was just a little, I know they had like the energy and all that stuff, but the second you stopping people at the door and saying no hats or you need dress shoes or tuck it in or whatever, the second you stop being exclusive, you can't stop the wrong people from coming in. What I mean by wrong people, the people who are going to fight, who aren't going to spend,
undesirable people. Yeah. Not a specific type of person. No. There's no look, but just an undesirable person who you know by talking to. That's like what a doorman is for, right?
Exactly.
I worked the door at Butch McGuire's not one time, but for a while, and they would tell you like
it was a family reunion.
They would tell you like half the reason you're IDing somebody is to talk to them. Talk to them, hear them. How drunk are they? Are they slurring their words? What type of person are they? You know what I mean? You for the quick interaction, get to know somebody if it's the type of person you want in your establishment or not.
I think if I plug enough people, we'll get more views. So I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
So, Dominique Scalise. She worked the door. She was a host at the studio. We used to joke about it, and like we did Level together and Proof, and like we were around a while. Brandon Corona and I were promoting at the same time, and they were friends. And we would joke about like we know watches. So you'd look at someone's watch or you'd look at their shoes, and it wasn't like, are those shoes cool? It's like, are those $500 shoes? Is that a $20,000 watch? You want them in. This is a business. The club owners want that happening. Morgan McNeil, dude.
Next week.
No way.
We're going to reshoot.
I can't wait to watch
We're going to reshoot. We had one that couldn't get released.
It never was.
He's Chicago industry, nightlife. He's a legacy now.
He is.
I love the band. And
when you hire a doorman, he should be what you are presenting and say, can you do this? Can you be this? Can you have this energy? Like,
I still don't think he likes me. I love him. But you know, he's got that voice and that demeanor. And you know who cuts my hair now is Tony, who worked the door at Manor for years.
That might be before my time.
Yeah. And, I'm sure you met Yai and like all the door guys.
I remember,
and Phil Nowinski, who runs Tao. His older brother, Gabe. It's been a while. Now this is awkward. He was the door guy at Underground in 2008.
Okay.
He was like the door guy, and not just a door guy. Like I'll throw you out. Like he was good looking, dressed the part, all that.
Yeah.
But these guys knew that, and that's what changed. What changed is you have a concept that is like, come here, party in your flip-flops and your baseball hats. Well, you're going to get that crowd. And they don't have to spend money now because they can drink beer. They don't have to buy bottle service. Now, some will because it's packed and it worked. They did $20-something million year over year. But then you also had the neighbors that weren't seeing people leaving in well-dressed or well-mannered people. You have people leaving that are like throwing up on their car and being loud, and so the neighbors didn't like it. And I think if I'm just going to throw this out there, if I'm a girl, if I'm a lady and I want to go out, and I'm going out to either hang out and have fun with my girlfriends, or I'm going out to meet a man, I'm not going there to do that. Right. So like, then you have these venues that are like really fun for like bros. It's like frat parties. And I think that is why they left us in like rubble.
I could see that. It was definitely the counter to like the underground, impossible to get in. You're mad because the doorman's looking at you, but doesn't see you. Like you're standing at the rope and Marvin's looking directly at you, but he doesn't see you. I'm sorry, not Marvin, Martin. He's looking directly through you. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing makes you more mad than that. And Bottled and Hefe in those spots that were more like just come in and spend money at the bar. It was definitely the counter to that. And
it's so funny because he's yeah, I don't even know how old he is, but he came into the scene after me, and he was working that door, and so I saw him like that with people.
Yeah.
And I was never on that side. I don't think it's because I just like helped the club so much with bringing people in that they treated me a certain way. I also think I just am a certain way with people. Even if I'm in another city where I don't know anyone, I kind of act like I do. But I've seen it. I've been on the other side of it more recently. I went to Bandit, and I like know the guys well, and I have a lot of friends that work there, and it's just like a random night. I just wanted to go in, get a table. So I walked up and I was like, "Hey, can I grab a table? It's like 3 of us, like whatever, whatever the min is." I was just kind of feeling like, let's do it. And he's like, gave me like 1 minute.
1 second.
I was like, all right, like when you're done tucking your shirt into your purple suit, can you come back over? Like hey, I'm over here, take my money. I'm the old dude trying to get into the club. Like, which credit card do you want? And I remember being like, I have to call someone now to tell, like you call like Alexios or like one of the old guys who've been around a while.
Right.
We ended up going and had a great time.
Yeah.
Bandit's a lot of fun.
Bandit is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. It's funny that you talk about Bottle Blonde being like the place that lets everyone in, because they got in trouble for that dress code thing, and so many people view them as like the racist establishment. You know what I'm saying?
That dress code thing, though, it happened multiple times before, where people put those dress code things in place. People just forget. It's like a new group. But they put that in because they were letting everybody in.
Exactly. So it's just really funny because like it's two completely opposite perspectives. You know what I mean? But it just depends how much you know.
And how you putting a dress code on Bottle Blonde. Like that doesn't fit.
Yeah.
That's just pure like we know what they were doing. That was,
I think they were having issues, right, with the crowd because it was so like, hey, we're not that pretentious or exclusive. Come party. And then they started getting the bad crowd, and then they were like, all right, we got to do something now. So they do that, and then
there's ways to do
whacked.
It. I mean, look at Shore Club. We opened, there was nothing there, and they were like, you're going to go to this beach and do your thing, and it's going to just be like a festival on the beach or like this crazy party. I'm like, trust us. Great food. We are 21 and over, right? If a family wants to come in, sure, right? We let people come in with their parents, but we didn't want any of those high schoolers coming in. Let them try and get into Castaways, and that's how it's been. We've been there 7 years, never a problem. Place is awesome. It's like a hidden gem, and it's something like we can be really proud of, and that's why we opened it. I mean, the place is like upscale food, elevated dining, great service. Everyone's kind of got that look. And we do it with that, and we do it with the music too. Like, I don't play certain genres of music and just like you guys don't play certain songs in the club unless you want people jumping all over each other.
Getting crazy.
Yeah. And so we do it the right way. And so it's a choice. Operators have a choice. And, man, I'm so excited. Before I got here today, I was like doing all the flowers and the palms and like getting all the landscaping going because we open in a couple weeks. It's like summer camp coming every year. It's awesome there. I love it.
That's exciting me. And I've never been excited by the thought of a flower before in my entire life. But I have a girlfriend now, and she's gardening in the back, and I have this nice backyard. Like, I've lived here.
You got the shirt on?
I got the shirt on. Yep, I'm supporting. I've lived here for 9 years now, and my backyard has been the way that it was when I bought it, which was just in shambles. And I threw a little.
Oh, I saw her like farming the other day.
Yeah.
It's like
she's doing work.
Urban farming going on.
She's
Are
doing
you selling
work.
Any of that crop?
Yeah, I'm trying to get mushrooms? A little. I'm trying to get some cow patties in here so I can grow some mushrooms.
That's the other thing, right? People don't drink like they used to because we're all doing chocolate mushrooms because no one can handle the hangover. And so I think that's changing things too. But I think people are happier.
That's definitely a piece of it for sure. People aren't spending money. In Chicago in particular, right? The crime's up. It's a little more scary. So less people want to go out. Less people want to go out later at night. It's more of like a daytime thing, which I feel like that's why Shore Club is incredible because you get to party in the sun, on the beach, near the water. It's like a little sanctuary. You don't even feel like you're in the city, but you turn around and there's a beautiful skyline behind you.
It hits on like every level.
Yeah.
And the hardest part is like, I got to get people there because they just think you're talking about your place. And I try not to do that because I did it for so long and now it's my place. But that's why we picked it, right? That's why we did what we did there. So you could be on the patio on a weekday, having a great drink, eating, beautiful views, best place to take a date, great place to take a friend that's visiting. You could have dinner during the week inside the restaurant, like rain or shine, right? Saturday and Sunday on that beach, and I know you don't like doing Sunday day parties anymore. It's the only day party. Anything else is just a club trying to make a buck. Mm-hmm. Our day party is what we do. And for people to talk about Chicago nightlife or talk about visiting Chicago, if you don't come to our day party, you missed everything. It's 22 cabanas and day beds, great bottle service. Our bottle presentations, I mean, people are doing bubble, like we do bubble. We don't do like sparklers. It's bubbles on the beach.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it in the clubs. And I'm like, why are they doing bubbles? It's nighttime.
They see what's
We do
working.
bubbles because we're on the beach.
Yeah.
But we do these like awesome bottle presentations that are themed out. We carry like big yachts full of bottles over our heads and stuff. And it's not an hour and a half in the club. It's not like you show up at, club opens at 10 or 11. You show up at 12 when strategy goes on. And then at 1:30, they're kicking you out. So it's an hour and a half and you spent, $3,000 to be there for 90 minutes. Well, at Shore Club, it's, come in 11 o'clock. You're there till 4. It's 5 hours in the sun, eating, drinking, having fun with your friends, vibing. It's a vibe.
It's a good time.
It's really cool.
And what are we doing? Saturday, May 25th?
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to come spin.
Let's go, champ.
And we don't like, we're promoting you now, but we don't.
Let me make sure it's the 25th.
I don't know what it is.
I got to just make sure. That would be horrific if we said the wrong date and I couldn't even use it for the promo. Yeah. Oh, no. That's
What you should do is just be there every day.
What do we say? You open on the 17th, right?
17th, we're doing a little soft opening. Every year to make sure the food's perfect and service is perfect, we have to do another friends and family every year. But that Saturday, which I think is the 18th, is our first day to open to the public.
Okay, so it's the 18th, right?
But you're going to do the next Saturday if you're free.
No, not for free.
No,
and
if you're
also the next Saturday is Memorial Day weekend, which I'm already booked.
Okay, whenever you want.
But I want to get a good promo for the pod. So let's say
I think you're asking for a new booking agent is what you're looking for.
Yeah, I might need that. What's going on here? I'm getting
the problem is the
overloaded
Jews
here.
are usually the agents, not the talent.
And I'm also
so, you're trying to do both, but do you file your own taxes too?
No,
Are you your own doctor? I mean, let's put you in the right stereotype.
Yeah, who can we get here? Can we get someone good? Yoni from DGI? He's a Jew, right? Can I get him?
I mean, the Rick, take your shoes off. That guy's doing he's running around the room doing his own sound.
I know, it's my favorite podcast, bro.
I love hearing that. I'm so happy to hear that.
It is legit. My favorite.
Now he's gonna watch this and he's gonna have to share it, and he's got
I would love that. That would make me so happy. But what would make me even happier is if I could nail this down. The 18th, the next one's the 25th. The next Saturday, I'm in Miami, which is June 1st. June 8th. Can we use June 8th?
Sure.
All right. June 8th, Shore Club. Don't miss it. Biggest party of the year.
Yeah. Strategies on the 1s and 2s.
Let's go, champ. All right. Perfect.
Should we negotiate your rate now that you've already committed?
Yeah. Yeah. We can do that. That's so funny. I thought you were trying to get it for free. You said if you're free.
Yeah, if you're free.
He's like, not for free.
I get a lot of stuff for free. It's the fun thing about Shore Club is that it's not competing with another gig usually. It's during the day. And so you can go out there, you can spin, you can eat, drink, get a comp, invite your friends in, still get paid. You're not doing anything for free. We don't want that. And And then you can go to another gig later on. And we do the same thing. Like we have these pop-ups that we haven't started talking about yet, but we're doing takeovers. Like I'm talking to Tao right now. I hope that, Colin and some of my old friends will commit to this. And all the nightclubs and Escobar does it actually. But we do Tao Beach and Esco Beach. And I'm going to talk to Dynamic guys. They should do Lyra Beach and Costera Beach from Parker.
That'd be sick.
They come in, take over our Oasis on a Sunday, do your thing, show the city like what you have, and do a day party. Show us what you would do if you had our space. Because everyone says that. Dude, if I had the beach, this is what I would do. Okay.
That's dope.
It's hard enough to open a place for 100 days, shut it down, reopen it the next year. Everything's got to come off that beach every year. But this gives them an opportunity to do like client appreciation, staff appreciation, all that.
That's a dope concept.
It'll
I like
be really
that a
cool.
lot.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's going to be awesome. And yeah, I mean, I don't, I've been really enjoying my Super Snuggle Sundays now that I'm a grown man with a girlfriend, and it's nice to not have to go work a gig on Sunday. But if I had to, I'm in.
I have 4 kids at home.
Yeah.
And I'm still there on the weekends.
Yeah. Well, you're also making all the money.
Sure.
I'm only making a couple bucks.
Well, if you're not free.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm pumped for Shore Club. I'm excited to have you out. Music's always been somewhat incidental, like who's spinning and all that, and we've kind of hit it. But it's fun to have my friends in there, and it's fun to really control that vibe.
Yeah, I'm pumped, bro. I'm so pumped. I'm looking so much more forward now to gigs that I used to, like back in the day, wouldn't have wanted to do. And not necessarily that Shore Club's that, but just like I'm trying to transition into more like corporate stuff, less nightclubs, really. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's probably harder to do with like send nudes and all that.
Well, I'm trying to wash my name of send nudes. So it's been a battle, but I feel like we're getting close now. The Party with Strategy podcast is prevalent. Send nudes is in the past. Not a lot of people remember that, thankfully. Things are a little blurry pre-COVID.
It always said that you read my messages, but never responded. So I would try and take the picture again, and it just, I don't know.
I remember a couple snaps. You got a nice, the rabbi made a nice cut.
Yeah. I thought it was perfect. I didn't know what he said. He screamed. I thought he was excited, but I was also an infant, so.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, do you want to DJ at JoJo's too?
I would love to do anything that's not in a nightclub.
That would be special.
But I want to talk JoJo's for sure, because I didn't know, you came from the marketing background, but now it's making more sense because I always see, JoJo's marketing and I'm like, genius. Like you guys are exactly what TikTok is, what social media has become, is like JoJo's marketing is just made for that. Yeah.
Well, we built it around it to some extent. I mean, we had Shore Club. It was open. I loved working with Nick, and we, like I said, we're only open 100 days of summer, and then what do you do the rest of the year? And I'm used to working a few jobs at a time. I've been hustling since I was a kid, and so I was like, look, I want to do something that's different. I don't want to open a restaurant. Every 4 years, you got to reconcept. I don't want to be in the nightclub business anymore. He had 2 kids. I had a kid on the way. I actually already had a kid at this point. And I wanted to do something that was like a staple, that was had mass appeal, approachable place that like I would want to go. And so we opened JoJo's, and I said, look, when we do this, you got to have great service, great food, great atmosphere. I do all this stuff to keep people coming back, but like you got to do something wild and awesome to get them in. And so we're like, let's lead off with this crazy shake. And so about half our business is these crazy milkshakes, these biggie shakes, and then the food crushes, and the marketing's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Was the first one on Hubbard Street?
So the first one's on Hubbard Street.
Okay.
And then we opened in Water Tower. Then we opened in Fulton Market and Time Out. We opened in Naperville. Then we opened Detroit on Columbia Street by the stadiums. And then Orlando, Florida. Last year we opened Scottsdale, Arizona. And then now we're actually opening one on North Avenue Beach below Castaways. in like 2 weeks, and then we're opening on Navy Pier in a few weeks too.
Yeah, that's
So there's
amazing.
9 of them.
Congratulations, that's crushing it. I mean, if you can open a spot that you have 9 now, you're definitely doing something right.
Yeah, I mean, I think, and thank you, and I think that when we talk about like the owners making money and all that stuff, it's like I'll never feel like we make enough or anything like that. But
Classic.
It's about taking a concept and being able to scale it. And that's where the real money is. I mean, we want to open, 20, 30, 40 of these and then either take it public eventually or bring in another group that can help us get bigger. But it's about replicating and doing something that's, but you got to love what you do. And I love every menu item we have. Every one of them has a story there. People's faces light up, and it's people are like, oh, what's the crowd like in a JoJo's? And it's like you and your girlfriend going on date night, sharing a milkshake, getting a burger, watching an 80s, 90s flick on the tube. And then you got like someone's grandparents in there, like bringing their grandkid in for their birthday or prom, like it's every age group. It's super fun. But when we were building it, I was like, we're going to be the after hours spot. I was on Hubbard Street. I was like, I'm going to keep it open till 4 a.m, doing late night food. We're going to crush it because no one wants to go to Tempo. And
is that place still open?
I mean, it could be. I think so. I think I see people outside. I try to go to sleep before the sun comes up now.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I got up at like 3:30 this morning though, so
Sweet
I'm a little
heavens.
beat. But we didn't do it. We have a late night window, but we close around 1 o'clock now because nothing really great's happening between 1 and 4 anymore.
That, I mean, in particular, that strip of Hubbard Street is like tough.
Oh yeah,
It's tough.
We don't have issues because we sell milkshakes, but the a couple blocks away, and like over by like State and Grand. I mean, I'm always strapped.
Yeah, it's ridiculous over there. But when you first opened JoJo's, have you tweaked it along the way a little bit? Like, did you open it? Because I remember it opening, and I remember it was like boozy shakes, and it was next to Hefe. And I remember going in there and getting a shake actually with Dolo, like in between a Sunday Fun Day or something, you know? And it feels like it's different though. It feels like now it's become something like you've tweaked it. Like, was it just boozy shakes before and no food, or was it food before?
No, it was. So it takes each segment, like when we go to a new city, it takes a few months for people to see all that you have to offer. It's too much. It's too dynamic of a concept to market it. People would say if we marketed it that way at first, people would be like, identity crisis is what we used to hear about nightclubs and like bar, whatever. I wanted to avoid that. So we lead with the shakes. We let them know like we are the best at what we do. Come in for this. And then when we're there, we're like, and we have all this.
Yeah.
So now you have to come back. And so when we go to a new market, most people are coming in for the shakes. And then they're like, dude, we got to come back here and eat that. Look at that honey fried chicken sandwich. Or the JoJo's fries are like this huge pound of waffle fries. 5 cheese blends, sour cream, chives, bacon on top. Like no one does animal fries like we do. And so we're about 50% food and 50% dessert. And people do boozy shakes. Our cocktail program crushes it. It's so fun. I think we were the first one in the city to do those Patron trees.
Yeah.
And I refused to carry Patron for years. And they were like, what do you think of this? And I'm like, let's do it. So it hasn't changed that much. We try and stay true to our values, but it changed for the consumer because you guys become educated to all that we can do.
Makes sense.
But during COVID, when everyone shut down, I dug in. We borrowed more money from the bank. We did everything we could, and we bought the parking lot next door. We leased the parking lot next door, and we do pop-ups. So we do like a winter wonderland. We do a pumpkin patch. This year we have Camp JoJo's coming. So it's like, do you remember Salute Your Shorts?
Of course, bro. That was my favorite show ever.
Yeah, my marketing director thought I was nuts. She was like, I would play the theme song and sang it for her, and then I just sat there like super uncomfortable for a while. Yeah, so like shows like that, like Hey Dude,
Hey, dude, what was that?
It was like a dude ranch that these kids like. It was like a Saved by the Bell, but
Was it what was it, Nickelodeon or what was it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm 5 years younger than my brother, so if I tried to touch the remote, he would just knock me out, right? I would just watch what he watched. I didn't, Knight Rider's on, the Michael, the car's talking to him. I'm watching that. You know?
I'm also 5 years younger than my brother, so definitely some relatability there.
He's always like, "I made you tough." I'm like, thanks.
Yeah. Yes.
I needed that. I always needed that, but no, he's great. But we're going to do this. Camp JoJo's pays homage to these like 80s, 90s throwback shows and like summer camp for kids that got to enjoy summer camp with like canoes everywhere and like all our staff's in the gear and like staff shirts from camp. And we have activities like, there's cornhole and all the games. But then we have like paint and sip, so you and your girlfriend can go and like drink sangria and paint the glasses.
I was gonna say, I saw those events, like the ticketed painting things. That's really genius.
So we try and do experiential stuff, give you activities so that you can like have something to be excited about.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then, I mean, are you sort of getting it more down to a science opening in a new city? Like is it becoming more like, all right, this is what we need, this is how we do it? It's getting more like a blueprint for being able to do it mass?
Yeah, I mean, we opened 4 inside of 18 months in 3 different states. It's a lot of hard work, but it's a little bit of rinse and repeat. It's a lot of like we study a market and we tweak things for that market. You go to Arizona, you're bringing a Southwest salad. Like there's some stuff you're doing, but we understand each market a little differently. But training, I mean, we have JoJo's U. It's an online university that we run where our staff gets hired and they go on and they complete tasks just like they're in college. And we watch them, track them, test them, and then they have a in-person test too. And so that's for like, if I wanted to be a server at JoJo's, I'd have to go through. U. So how do you come up with something like that? We needed it. We're training in several states across 9 locations, and staff comes and goes in this industry. Everyone complains about like, oh, the restaurant business is so hard. It's so hard to get staff. People are knocking down our doors now. Shore Club is 70% retention. It's only open for 100 days. Everyone comes back every year. And I think it's because of the way we treat them. We'll see who comes on this pod and says otherwise in the future. But
have we ever had a Shore Club employee on here? I don't think so, right?
I don't know. Has Nino been on?
Nino
Boss?
No.
You should have him on.
Does he bartend for you?
He's managing this year.
Oh, nice.
And I think that's part of it too, is so many people who've worked for us as managers, or as servers or whatever, become managers. Mm-hmm. I mean, our regional director was a server for us 6 years ago, right? And we've promoted and they have careers with us. And but he's such an interesting dude. And like one of the nicest people I've ever met. And so this is his first management career. He's like, I don't know how tall he is, like over 6'5".
He's a tall drink of water.
And so bartending for him, like that's going to take a toll on his back.
At some point.
And so I'm excited for him. He's still gonna bartend a couple days a week to make that money, and but it's fun getting these staff members back. And what's great about JoJo's and these is we figure out, okay, if everything's working, now let's put that system and these in place, so that we can continue to work and develop other things, and then now we have these systems working.
Hell yeah. And how about like opening a Shore Club somewhere else? You ever thought about that?
We get asked all the time. I don't want to.
Why? You just want to keep
Shore Club's special because of where it is, what it is, and it is really hard to do. We got an offer in like Nashville on the water there on the river.
Nashville's booming right now.
I know. And we've had offers to bring Shore Club all over the place. When New Yorkers come in, they're like, we need this here, and I'm like, it right time, right place, right concept, don't mess with it.
Yeah.
And that's just kind of how I feel about it. So
It's like when I think about it, it reminds me kind of like of Lake Point Tower. You know how it's the only building on that side of Lakeshore Drive?
Yeah.
It's like that's how I feel like Shore Club is. Like all the clubs and like that kind of fun, that like that energy you're looking for in like a day party. It's all in the city. It's all, you know, Sunday Funday over there. But that's the only spot you can find it by the beach, obviously.
Yeah.
There's not another concept over there that could even compete. It's a complete destination. You're going over there. You know what you're getting. You know what you want.
It's great.
Yeah.
We have this. There are menu items on that I'm like, I can't wait till we open so I can just have that again. It just tastes, everything hits different on the beach there. My wife and I went to Greece before I opened Shore Club, and we did Mykonos and Santorini and whatnot. And when we were in Mykonos, we went to Namos. And Namos Beach Club is like white tables, impossible to get in, super expensive. And by the end of the day, everyone's dancing on the tables. And I didn't want them dancing on my tables, but I wanted that kind of vibe. And then the next night we went to Scorpio, which is like total beach vibe, more like a deep house feel, less of like that top 40 feel. Mm-hmm. And I was like, let's blend these two. And so if I could take the feeling that I got from a day club in Greece and bring it to Chicago, I'm never going to match that, right? I'm never going to replace it, but at least my head's in the right space. And so we brought that element as best we could. And when customers say it, and they say it all day, every day, we hear it. Not everyone. Some people are like, dude, this is like a club in Miami. I'm like, no, it's not. No, thanks though. Because like, have you ever been to like a beach club in Miami in the sand with drinks and bottle service? They're at pools. Even Miami doesn't have what Chicago has in this way. And I could be wrong, but.
That's right. Like Hyde Beach in Miami is a pool, isn't it?
Pool.
Yeah.
Is that false advertising?
I mean, I'm just thinking of the stories I've seen from DJs I know that play there, and I believe it's just a pool. But yeah, I haven't been there, so we could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen any like awesome beach parties. Like if you haven't been to Shore Club in a while, or you haven't been because it takes a while to get industry people to not go to work on a Saturday night, big night Friday night, big night Saturday night. Can I get them out of bed before 4 o'clock, right? To do this. But if you come and see it, it's feet in the sand, drink in your hand, cabana, you're on the beach.
Yeah.
It's cool.
You got to get the ones that are just staying up.
Yeah, I don't want those. I think Bottle Blonde has those.
I'm dead. That's incredible. Yeah. So you've been in this industry for a long time, obviously, right? And this is something I like to ask people who have been in the industry for a long time in Chicago, with hopes that it will give me hope for the future. But have you seen a time like this in our city, in our industry, where it is in a bit of a lull? You know, like nightclubs more so, bars a little bit. I think you're really doing something different with JoJo's, and obviously Shore Club is its own thing on the beach. But like, right now, nightlife is in a bit of a lull. Like, have you seen anything like this in your time thus far?
So when Studio opened, it was like I opened Czar with like Carone and Ryan Pruitt, who's like one of the best real estate agents in the city now. He's left the nightclub business, but he has the network, right? And we opened Czar, and it was this like the guys from, I think it was like one guy from Crescendo, one guy, it was like different owners that came together to do it. And a guy from Soundbar, and it was super cool. There was like a vodka room in the center, and then a catwalk with a sax player. And it was great for like 8 weeks because Studio Paris opened, and just, dude, no one could compete. And like hats off to, my business partner's old partner, Matt Deichel. Remember Matt?
Deichel, yeah. I've seen him recently.
He's probably the best host. Now he's an operator, obviously. And he always was an operator, but he's the best host there is in Chicago. And he has that thing that he knows how to develop his friends and his network and a venue and their clientele. And he's a good guy to have on your side. I really like him and respect him. But when Studio opened, he was in there, right? When Studio opened, you had the bar owners, operators, hosts, servers, everyone in the city all was going to Studio to see what they could take to bring back to their clubs or on the other days, because Studio was just crushing everybody.
What do you think it was about it?
It was fresh, it was clean, safe. It was like...
Also the time, right? Like just that year, that time, that... Yeah.
Like I said, I think we like going to Let Us Entertain You restaurants because you know what to expect. And the one night, either a week or the one night a month, that the majority of the public goes out, they don't want to compromise and roll the dice on it not being a good time. And everyone knew if you went there, it was going to be a good time. When you go to a Let Us restaurant, you know it's going to be a good time. You're going to have good service. No one's saying it's going to be like the Michelin star. That's not what they're going for all the time. But shout out to the omakase at Sushi-san. That's another level.
That's the one right there?
Yeah, and I think Tradita and some of the other stuff they're doing is next level dining. But I think they brought that hospitality to nightlife, and it hadn't been seen for a while. And the second we sniffed it out, everyone wanted to be there. And then once it clicks and it's the place to be, great location, great timing, right?
Yeah.
Luck helps.
Yeah, you're locked in.
I think that was a time where I saw a lot of people failing because of competition. Right now, the economy is not in a good place. I don't care what people say.
That's a fact.
Yeah, everyone's learning to budget, which I think is healthy, because then they'll learn to save and invest in their future once they catch up. I think people are too relaxed in life. I'm always worried about being broke. It's like my biggest fear. So I'll work as much as my kids and my wife will let me without missing out.
That's the Jew brain.
Yeah. And I mean, my grandfather lost everything, started from scratch, did it all over again. And it's in us. Yeah. Especially today, holiday today. So anyway, I think it happened once before when Studio opened and you had that competition. You know what was really cool? We used to do the kitchen, right? At Manor, we hung out in the kitchen. At Rhino, we hung out in the kitchen. Underground kitchen, yeah. Chocolate chip cookies. Mm-hmm. They did their thing. When I opened Smoky Hollow, we brought popcorn out. We made popcorn there. We had the old flapper girls with candy trays, like in the old movie theaters, handing out candy with bottle service. And it was like to try and bring the kitchen out was our idea, so that it wasn't just 20 people that got to be cool. Even Parliament had the private room, right? Like members' room at
Liquor Box.
Yeah, it was
Everly.
But it was called something before that. It's changed hands a bunch.
I think it's always been Everly.
It was Everly?
I think
no,
so.
I'm saying with Body and
before
that Stone
that
Lotus.
building. Oh yeah,
I think I took my wife to Stone Lotus on her first date.
Yeah.
But it was always about getting in the club, and then that wasn't good enough. Mm-hmm. You needed to get into the club behind the club. Stone Lotus's kitchen, I used to eat they had cheeseburgers back there, and that was like where you wanted to be, where no one could get. And that changed. Everyone went to mega clubs and bar or clubstaurants, right? And so the exclusivity not only left the door, but in the inside, the way they built it, it left that part too. So like you want to open a new place, call it kitchen. Just do one big kitchen.
Yeah, right. And then the exclusive part is the nightclub that's inside of where the kitchen would be.
Right, which is like Bodega.
Night at the Roxbury.
And Bodega is an entrance through the kitchen.
That's right, yeah.
But you don't know which Bodega I'm talking about.
I do, in River North, Dearborn and Kinsey.
That's a tough one.
Clark and Kinsey.
Bodega opened, had a nice little run. Then the real Bodega came from Miami. Mm-hmm. Then they opened next to them in River North.
There's one in River North.
That's confusing for all of us. They should work that out.
Yeah, and the Bodega from Miami in River North doesn't have the nightclub though. It's just the bar.
Yet.
Oh, are they going to add
I
it?
don't know. I just wanted to confuse everybody.
Which bodega now?
And
I
then there's
will
Bodega
say-
in Milwaukee.
I said a lot of good things about the lettuce guys. The dynamic guys crush it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like always. I like those guys a lot. Some Ohio guys, Cleveland guys. I've always been impressed with what they could do, and like, if you look at how dynamic. I didn't mean to do that. Their restaurants are. They've gone from Italian to French, Greek, and they're hitting multiple different cuisines in multiple areas, and they're on top. I mean, there's 3 or 4 groups that are all on top in Chicago, and they have the crowd, and they just crush it. I'm proud of those guys. They absolutely kill it. But I love going to their stores because of it.
Yeah, they're definitely crushing it for sure. What I don't know, the exclusivity of what Underground was and Studio Paris was, and then turning towards the Hefes and the Bottle Blondes who let everybody in, and it's more of a frat party, and it's kind of crazy. And now that's sort of where we're left off, right? You kind of said that, like that's where they left us kind of in shambles. And it's time for that exclusivity to come back. But I think that people are scared, too scared to be exclusive, because the moment that you start being exclusive, you're called racist on social media. Somebody's trying to get in. Could be an Indian guy trying to get in.
But they got to stop doing that. It's not the person not letting them in. It's the person that doesn't get in. There's usually another reason.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course.
And so it doesn't do anything for your race or your community to bring that to the forefront, unless it's true. But in that situation, it's not. So don't pull that card. You didn't get in because you're sloppy,
or you didn't know somebody,
or you didn't know someone. Exactly.
And that's what it.
Exactly.
If it's an exclusive place, that's just what it is. But I think that's what I'm saying is like, yeah, obviously the consumer who's making a fuss about it is an idiot, but a lot of owners or whatever it is are too scared to even have that happen. I think it's going to take somebody with some balls to be like, all right, this is going to happen. We're going to be called this. We're going to be called that, but it doesn't matter. Fuck all that. This is what we are, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that will be the shift, I think, in nightlife when they do bring exclusivity back and it goes in that direction, and we no longer care about being called something on social media.
It's interesting because I know when Soho House opened, they talked about like what their parameters were, right? You couldn't be in finance, or you couldn't be this, and they were looking for minorities and this and that. And we'll see how that works for them in Chicago. I mean, they've been open a while, but I hear membership is pretty low. I don't think that businesses should be run like that. I think everyone should walk up to a door with an equal opportunity to get into a club. And it's your own ability to dress the part, act the part, call someone before you go. Like, use your brain. You're not going to walk up to a nightclub, expect that, oh, this place is going to be amazing. I'm going to have this great time. But it's so easy to get in. If it's that good, it's hard to get in.
Yeah.
If it's not hard to get in, wasn't that good. So think about that before you go. Make a call. How much is this going to cost me? What do I need to wear?
The mindset of the consumer too, right? Like back in the day, if you didn't get in, I feel like it was more the mindset of like, all right, I didn't get in this time, but next time I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of like, oh, these guys didn't let me in. I'm going to cry and be a victim. There's no like real, oh, all right, I see what's going on here. Studying and understanding of the situation to then give yourself the ability to try and get in, or even the craftsmanship to sneak in or something. I remember sneaking into the mid when Diplo was playing. I got done playing at Stout. Nobody knows who I am. I'm a DJ in the city, but I'm just working, you know, at some place that's not promoting me as like this DJ. I don't have a name for myself. I haven't created this brand yet. And I'm trying to get into this mega club that's super popping, and one of the best DJs in the world is in there. And they don't know who I am. They're not letting me in. But I remember standing around waiting for my opportunity to run into the exit, because they had that little, you know, you could go out the exit door and smoke right there.
I do know what you're talking about. I went like a few times to the mid. I think it was Mannequin before the mid, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
And it smelled like my basement, like in college. And I remember walking in like, I can't come back here. I don't belong here. But it crushed it. And
dude, the mid
I still
was
talk to Mike
legendary.
Lang. Mike Lang's going to come DJ at Short Club.
Oh yeah.
And he knew who you were then. He just let you sneak in.
No, it wasn't even him at the door. It was like Manny, right? Lang's in there running everything.
Yeah.
He's not even at the door. Manny is there. I don't know who he is. He doesn't know who I am. I'm denied. I'm trying to tell him, oh, I'm a DJ. I'm in the industry, this and that. They're like, yeah, okay, go fuck yourself. And I remember just like plotting. I'm standing around trying not to be like conspicuous, plotting on how I'm going to get in. And then all of a sudden, some security guard is pummeling through everybody with somebody else. He's throwing somebody
right
out
behind him.
Right. And like the commotion of that, I'm like, all right, boom. I walk right in the exit. I'm in. It was amazing, bro. I remember, you know who Chuck Bono is?
Oh, yeah.
You know
Big
Chuck? Yeah, Big Chuck. Yeah.
He was a Stone Lotus guy.
He was in there spending, money. He's got a table with bottles and shit. And he knew me from Stout. So I saw him and I was like, oh, what's up, dude? And he was like, oh, yeah, come to my table. And I remember him spraying a champagne bottle into the crowd. Some other dude gets mad, obviously. He's sprayed with champagne. He comes over to Chuck and is like, yo, what the fuck? And the security guard kicks that guy out because Chuck's the one in there spending money.
Sure.
And I'm like, this is dope. I'm like, this is awesome.
You mentioned, Jamel was on.
Yeah.
He's great. He, legacy host, he dealt with all the guys that like I didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
Like
where at?
Everywhere. Is even like he would come in. He came in one night and Semerad, Rob was his best friend, was in with me and my struggle was like trying to get Rob to like keep his shirt on. He always wanted to take his shirt off and let us play. This is like what you can't do. And I'm like, Jamel, I think I asked him, like, can you help me with this guy? I think I've never regretted it more because they just went on to have like 4 years of just such a great time. But love and respect him. He's great. And you mentioned Marty. I went to Gino and Marty's when they opened, and like Gino coming up to your table and like doing his thing. That's awesome.
Real Italian vibes. Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
I'm proud of those guys too. It's cool seeing everyone do their thing and like grow in different ways and not give up.
It is really impressive. And that's what I like about having this pod is being able to have everybody on, owners, talk to people, get a good, vision of what it's like to where'd you start, where are you at now, where are you going? You got 9 locations of JoJo's, only growing more and more. You know what I'm saying? You started from promoting in competition with Carmen at Enclave. And now look at both of you.
He has 9D.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll get like, someone will reach out to us about hey, we want you to put JoJo's here, or can you do a different concept here? And I'm like, who's the landlord? And then they'll tell me, I'm like, are you sure Carmen's not the landlord? He businessman. I mean, he's got his name everywhere.
Yeah.
Good for him.
And Chicago's a tough city to operate in, right? I mean, you're dealing with we have aldermen, which is not something that I don't think anybody else has in the country. Is that exclusive to Chicago, or is it a couple places around the country?
There's always something else, some other hoop to jump through. I used to think the alderman I thought it was crazy that we had that, right? Because like, who has that?
Yeah.
Now I understand why it's necessary. They are, if it's the right alderman, they are pro-business and they help you. Like it's someone for us I can call his office and I can work with him on stuff. And so we're lucky in 18. Like I like Alderman Riley. I think he's done well by us and he cares about Hubbard Street and that area. And I think we're going to need him because we talked about like what happens like when there's this dip and like well, part of it's also how spread out we are. It was Division Street like 30 years ago, right?
Yes.
And it got too shady. So then River North exploded. Once River North had those issues and like especially on the lockdown and people started going to Fulton Market, now you're dividing tourism and locals into 2 places because most of the hotels are still near Michigan Avenue. Mm-hmm. And we either need to get a resurgence in River North and get that to come back. If you don't, you're going to leave this area, which is very dense residential area. You're going to leave it kind of in a limbo in a way. And so we need it to come back. And I think he's going to really help do that. And so I've grown to like the alderman, but it is one more thing to navigate in Chicago.
That's dope. That's good to hear, though. I haven't heard many business owners be pro alderman, so that also gives me hope. I like that.
I don't have to deal with the dress code issues.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I was in trouble when I was Bottle Blonde's DJ, and they were mentioning, the neighbors were mentioning my name in lawsuits and shit. I actually lost a gig over it. Like, I wasn't able to play at Roof on the Wit. I was playing there, and then all of a sudden they hit me up like, hey, you're kind of tied into this whole Bottle Blonde thing, and like the alderman's mad and the neighbors are mad, and like they don't really want you playing over here anymore. And I was like, oh shit. So hopefully that's and see, I'm trying to wash my name of the old me.
Yeah, well, first you got to get your booking agent to do
Yeah, I gotta get my,
you got to stop playing for
dates,
free at Shore Club.
right.
You got to keep that. Before I walk out of here, I'll leave a check for you for sure. We'll pay you in advance.
Okay, cool. Nice. Yeah, I like that. Thank you. That's the old school in you. You used to walk into a spot. The Mid was one of those spots.
I'm not
actually.
going to, just so you know.
Oh, all right. Maybe a Zelle or something.
He's texting his girlfriend in the other room. We can pay rent.
We can get the flowers. We can get the flowers you want. That's how you know you're playing at like an old school place, like Soundbar or something like that.
They have an envelope ready for you.
They have it for you when you walk in. Envelope, your check's in there, drink tickets are in there, you're good to go.
Do you have a rider?
I never made one.
Don't make one.
Yeah,
but it would be funny if you had one.
Well, there was a point when I was like doing the Send Nudes thing, and I was like gaining clout and gaining all this shit and getting all these gigs, where some people were like, "Oh, you need a rider," but then you're like, do I? Because then you kind of become that asshole where you get booked somewhere and then you give them your rider and they're like, what the hell is this? I'm not booking this guy.
Your
again.
rider could be more expensive and more of a pain in the ass for the venue than your fee.
Yeah.
Like if I was DJing, I'd be like, yeah, here's my rider. It's 6 pages long. You should have asked when you booked me. You can pay me, I won't come. Or you can give me my rider. Or I'll take an extra $1,000 and you don't have to worry about my rider.
Yeah.
You could really just back end it, but no, we've gotten some riders over the years, and the owners be like, Robbie, can you help us with this? Like, where are we going to get like the secret flavor of White Claw for this, or like someone wants 15 white towels that are 4 inches by 8 inches for their sweat.
Yeah.
I'm like, give them a rag.
Yeah. You become more of a
next
pain
to
in
the
the
bed.
ass. And like, especially local, like when you're a local guy and if you have a rider and you get booked locally and then you give them your rider, they look at you like an asshole.
Yeah. I thought this was free.
Yeah. I thought you were just coming to have some fun over here. Play some music.
The lobster tacos they're worth $100 each.
Yeah.
I'll give you 3 of them.
I don't know. I'm not a big seafood guy.
What do you do when you see food?
Huh? What?
So I have 4 kids, so I have dad jokes. I haven't really gotten into my dad jokes yet. I'm still kind of floored by like, I noticed that you take a piss like at least once every podcast, and I think you need to now.
It's coming. It's not bad. I can still pay attention.
So when I got here, I was kind of like, this is the bathroom that he's always going to.
Yeah.
And I realized you have the bidet that you added to the toilet. And I was wondering, did he add this, or was it like, I'm going to rent this place because they have this?
I own this place.
You own it.
Yeah.
So when I moved a bunch, but every house we moved into, the first thing we do is we bring this bidet, this awesome Toto washlet. You got to Google this thing. It's like what you have, except the seat raises for you and stuff.
Yeah.
It's man's best
Game
friend.
changer.
That
bathroom's tiny though, and honestly, I like the bidet, but it's big. It's clunky.
Does anyone know how to use it besides you?
I don't think my girlfriend uses it. I think I'm the only one that uses it. That's fine. Yeah, I've shit in that shower.
I was like, cool bidet. No instructions, so I'll pee where he shit. I thought some girl like dropped a log on your floor or something.
That definitely happened.
That pod. Your pod, I'm like, should I go on this? And Justin Jacobson was on it before me. And I was like, I have to now because not all Jews are like Justin.
Yeah.
I had to fix that one.
He was a wild one for sure.
I'm not okay still. I told you I got up at 3. He was it was still in my head.
He was
that episode, Justin. There's help out there.
He was a little off the rails, but you know that's kind of why you love him.
Longtime friend.
Yeah, where did you meet him?
Didn't expect anything else. My wife grew up with him, but he had
in Miami. She's from Miami.
No, he just went to Miami.
He's not from there.
No, he's also not like chauvinist. I think he just claims that too. He's actually a really good dude, I think. But
he's coming into a new era, I think.
Yeah, this is well. We know what it is, right? Because he tells us about the relationships. But no, he had platinum events. He still does. And he DJ'd and stuff. And so we crossed paths. He did create a business like I did. We weren't, when people would say promoters, we're like, we're not promoters. It's called Chill Productions. We produced the Sony stage one year at Lollapalooza. Like, we would do more production stuff. I had Mercedes as a client. I would do like their big Evo tour stuff. And, work with celebrities and athletes and bring them in and stuff like that. And he did a lot of corporate business and stuff like that. And so I respected him for that reason. And although we were competitors, we were always friends. And I used him during, I've used him for stuff. And
because he owns everything.
Yeah. I went to see him do his first stand-up.
He did stand-up?
I supported him. Yeah. Oh yeah, he still does. He's doing stand-up a lot.
Really?
I think so.
Did he talk about that? He didn't talk about that, right?
Bring it up at all.
He did ask you to come back 4 or 5 times. He wants to come back. Well, he might want to come back 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
So he wants to come back, but I think he wanted to come back for like the whole debate.
We're going to have him back with a debate.
What was it? It was a bottle server against him,
Yeah, we're going to have...
I don't think you should do that.
No?
No, I don't think you should do that.
What's going to happen?
I think he did great.
Yeah.
He promoted your pod more than you've ever promoted
Yes,
your pod.
yes.
So you might want to hire him as your booking agent.
Here's the thing, though. I did kind of fuck him because I said I was going to get a clip for him, and I didn't, and I still need to. But that was... I broke my computer. The Saturday before that pod came out on Monday, I shattered the screen of my computer, so I had to go have it fixed for 3 days. Yeah, it was bad. It was
This
bad.
morning, someone broke my headlight, and yesterday my wife's windshield was shattered. And
Like
it's
someone did
every day. No, it's just, the rocks that hate you on the freeway. Yeah. I've replaced like 3 windshields.
Now you talked about me having to pee, and now I have to pee really bad.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah,
Your legs have been
this.
shaking
This
for
is your doing? Real quick, if you guys are enjoying the episode, do me a favor, drop a little comment on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, like the video, algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music, rate the channel 5 stars. Help your boys out. Let's get back to the show. Enjoy.
Oh, he let loose on you.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
It was a good
You
time.
should have the Landons on too.
The Landon twins. That's
I've never met
right.
them personally,
They
but
won't
I've
let you
seen how
talk,
they go on there.
Well, the thing is that like I've only met them in the club, in nightlife, and we've never had like a conversation. It's always just like a hey, how you doing? Like what's up? So I don't even like know their personalities at all, even though you can tell just by looking at them that they're wild.
Yeah, I mean, I've known them a long time. I think they probably tag me in more photos than my mom does. I don't think she figured out how to tag yet. I hope maybe she'll watch this. And
Are they still going to all the openings and all the events?
If you don't invite them to an opening, I think, I mean, they'll text me like, am I coming? I'm like, you don't need an invite. Everyone, you go, come on in, but they go to everything. I mean, I would say I should go to more openings. I should say yes to more things. And it's foolish that I don't, because it's good for business.
Yeah.
They're great about that. They go to everything, but I don't know.
But what do they do?
Have you heard of the CIA?
Wouldn't once or
that
twice.
Be awesome?
Yeah.
There's secret agents going.
Wouldn't that be amazing? It would make the best like Austin Powers movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like, wait, these guys?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever seen Spaceballs?
Of course.
Do you remember what was that Yoda's name?
Oh, I'm so bad. I don't know.
It was like the Schwartz.
Oh, the Schwartz.
The Schwartz.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
My guy.
Right. The Schwartz.
Those are my guys.
Yeah.
They're truly really nice guys. So
Yeah.
is Justin. You only bring amazing people on your pod.
I'm trying my hardest. This has been an incredible episode. I love being able to talk Chicago. It's still kind of baffling to me that you're not from here. You feel like you're from here.
Yeah, I mean, it's been, I don't know, 16 years more. So, Cleveland people Ohio guys are great. They're so everyone's so nice from Ohio, and then you come to Chicago, it's so similar in that way. It's just you have this amazing city. They could have been the same city. They both have the railroads, the industrial parkways, access to Great Lakes, the same climate.
It is pretty dope because I remember when I went with him.
Did you go to
That's
Forward?
right, we did.
Went to Forward.
Dante did a great.
What was that other place that we went to?
Me and
Have
Dolo.
you haven't had Dante on the pod yet.
No, bro.
You should
This
have
guy,
Dante on the
I'm
pod.
literally waiting. I'm trying my
He
hardest.
big
bro.
timed you? Well,
Every
he's
time.
like Barstool, you know, he's got a lot going on.
He has been.
He's got
big,
a ShakeBAR opening.
He does.
I don't know.
He's been big time in me
Surprised.
since the day I met him, which is him, and I love him for that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
but the
I
funniest
think
thing,
Morgan McMeal trained him to bet.
yeah. The funniest thing is that he hit me on Saturday night and was like, "All right, let's get on a call this week and figure everything out because I'm trying to get a
He
John
saw
Boy
the Justin
date."
Jacobson pod.
Wait till the Nick Rockwell pod comes out. It's hilarious. Nick's talking about him too. But he hit me like, all right, let's figure this all out. I'm trying to get a John Boy date, and I also have been trying to get him on this fucking pod forever.
John Boy is cool.
It's the best.
I've never been in there.
You never been?
No.
It's
but I
the
know what he's
best.
doing there, and I know that is anyone who's going to take the time to really dive in and take the risk to be unique like that. It's exactly what people wanted. And I know what people like right now and what people are into, and I hear really good things.
Yeah.
John Boy, The Farm, he did Forward, of course, which is
Forward.
probably the closest thing to what Shore Club does in Chicago, but for Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to see LeBron win the championship for Cleveland at Forward on a big screen. I had like a 3-liter champagne. People went crazy. It was like we all won the lottery because Cleveland, we never had a championship before.
Yeah.
Ever. And
That's huge. That's probably a crazy
so
night.
Forward has a good place in my heart. I ended up just running through the flats after I left all my friends that I was so excited to be with for the weekend. I don't know why. I just I went to the kitchen at 6th Street Grill and was making shawarma and for myself. They let you do whatever you want in Cleveland. I was hammered. I didn't know what was going on. And but anyway, shout out to Dante. He should come on.
It's gonna happen.
Do you need a booking agent to?
I need someone to help me with this pod and hold together my schedule for both. Actually, it's been tough, but we're hanging in there. Dante it's gonna happen. It's gonna take some finessing and it's gonna be luck and timing, just like you talked about. We're gonna need that on our side, but it's gonna happen. When me and Diamond Cut went to Cleveland, me and Dolo were DJing at Magnolia, which is John Boy now, but it was that space. It was Magnolia.
It was really dope.
Which was like a donut shop nightclub.
His too, yeah.
Yeah, that was his.
It was an entrance through a donut shop.
Yeah.
Which Magnolia Bakery. I think that's why they did it.
I don't know. But I'm so mad that I played there. I didn't play at Forward, and now it's John Boy, and I'm not playing at John Boy. What the hell's going on here, Dante?
There was like a I had Architect all the time. Do you
Where?
remember Kyle, Architect?
That
DJ Architect?
That's literally like my mentor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I used to book him as often as I could because he really listened to the owners and the operators on what they wanted. He was always on time. He always did his thing. He's out in LA now, right?
Dude, do you see what he's doing?
No.
He just did Coachella with Anderson .Paak.
Really?
He's like Anderson .Paak's
Shout out,
DJ, or
Kyle.
like, I don't even know what his title
Really?
would be, but every show that Anderson's doing as DJ Pee-wee, all these huge shows, Tech is in there DJing with him.
See, I'd put him on whenever I could. You know who else I used all the time? And I was, at the time, they weren't Jam. Eric Sampson.
Crushing it. Absolutely crushing it
what's
with
his
the
DJ
DJ firm. DJ
No,
Jem.
the other one.
Oh, Cy Young.
Cy Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I like forget the DJ name and their first name, but
Yeah.
they in our timeout store, JoJo's timeout store, they'll like DJ firm will come and DJ outside and it's popping there. It's awesome.
They are
But I use
absolutely
them. I
crushing.
used to do JBAR. I don't know if you've ever heard of that.
JBAR is where they
The
did
James
Super
Hotel.
Fun Party. right? Isn't that where DJ Mano did Super Fun Party?
I don't remember. It could have even been my party, and I would have remembered. But
yeah, it is.
I used to have them on Thursdays, and we had, from Mr. Best to Spider to all these different guys come in all the time. But the local group of DJs, it was these guys were awesome.
The elote guy's here if you're hungry. I'll get you.
Is that what that
elote.
is?
Yeah.
It's a horn?
Mm-hmm. He's got a cart.
I thought Diamond Cut.
You thought it was Diamond Cut, right?
I thought he was like there was sitting on a turtle or a frog or something. I don't know. Every time we've been in the bathroom so many times, and he didn't flush this last time.
Well, here's the thing.
So I thought he was either saving water because I made the joke about everyone needs to work harder and save more money, so he didn't want to flush, or he doesn't know how to use his own bidet. I was like, what? You wanted me to know you didn't take a shit? Like, what happened in here?
I was helping you out because if I were to flush a toilet, you wouldn't have been able to.
I was gonna use the shower.
Okay, so you had to pee in the shower and then flush the toilet?
Yeah, because then later when you talk about the girl who dropped the log on your kitchen, you could be like, and then this dude came in and pissed in my shower like 2 years later.
Yellow ring
Stripper shitting in my kitchen and an owner-operator pissing in my shower.
I wish I could do that shtick on here and be that guy that I was like 15 years ago and just talk about that stuff, but
you don't want to.
JoJo's named after my daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing the hat, so I got to be really.
But don't you get to a point in your life where you're like, that's not me anymore? Don't you mature to? Because that's what I feel like
it was never me. I was always polite, good, nice, respectful.
You got some stories.
No, I never.
Carmen said the same exact thing as well too. Where I think there's a story coming up, and he was just like, "Oh, he's like, yeah."
Do you watch him play piano, Carmen?
On his story,
I don't know where to look. Carmen, the piano thing really scares me. I don't know what I'm watching. I'm like,
I'm impressed.
Super talented.
Yeah, that impresses.
He's a talented. He's like a Renaissance man, right? He's a talented guy all around.
A little scary though when you see him play.
Do you know the scene in Con Air when the guy's alone with the child playing with the doll in the playground?
No.
You never saw Con Air?
Actually, yeah.
There was a song playing. I think it's the same song. It wasn't that creepiness that it was the same song. I don't know. I can only say such nice things about all our friends, which I've done, but he's got to call me about the piano thing. I'm wondering what I'm watching.
Are you not? That impresses me.
Yeah, I don't know how to do anything,
and I'm like, I want to be able to do that. And I didn't know he could do that.
No, but how would you? Unless someone got on late at night after a long night out and just started singing and playing piano. You know what?
It's a little seductive.
My youngest daughter, my second youngest, Demi, she asks me to sing to her every night. Dude, I can't sing. So I sing the same song every night.
Are you getting good?
No. Sometimes when I think I'm hitting it, I'll like pipe up real loud. So if my wife's watching on the nanny cam, she'll be like, my dude can sing. Yeah. But I can't. No, it's horrible. But she's 2, so she thinks daddy's great. I sing Good Night, Sweetheart. Is from, was it 3 Men and a Baby? It was a long time ago.
I remember seeing that on TV, like when, after Milk Money came on or something.
Yeah.
Right? It was around that time.
And I don't have to sing it anymore. I can just pull my Instagram up and just let Carmen sing to my kids and play piano, or just hide it so they think it's me.
Wait, I have a question. How old were you when you had your first child?
34.
All right. I'm 34 now. I was hoping you were going to say like 38 or something.
I had JoJo when I was 34. I had a kid a week before we opened each restaurant. So I was like about to pass out all the time. I was so tired. Not that I gave birth or anything, but I pretended it was hard on me. And so I helped once. I had JoJo. She's just turned 6. My son's 10 months younger. He just turned 5. Then I have Demi, who's 2. And then I just had a kid. I think you were like, hey, can you come on the pod? And I'm like, I can't. I'm having a kid, but I'll come the next week or something.
Yeah.
So I have she was born in January. I have a newborn.
Nice. That's awesome.
You have time, but don't have 4 in 5 years. That
seems excessive to me. I the thing is, I'm scared I'm going to have a daughter first, right? So
No,
I got to
it's the
go till I
easiest.
have a son. Is it?
Oh my God. Girls they love you. And they're like, they play on their own sometimes and they're easy. I mean, they're hard when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
But we have time for that.
Yeah.
You'll be like 70 when your kid's a teenager.
Dad, it's almost
No, I mean, my son's like, he's the dude. His name's Duke. And he's got so much energy. And he can like throw a hook, man. Like, you got to watch him. He'll get you. But you need a lot of energy to keep up with the boys.
Yeah, I know. I got to start working out again. I got to get ready.
No, eat seafood. Tell her you love her.
Did you ever see the episode where they brought him sushi though?
Oh, really? Yeah, you don't eat
I'm not a
any
big
seafood.
guy.
Do you know that's
I've
what
never
does
loved
it?
That like an aphrodisiac, you mean?
No, I think if you eat seafood, I think it works.
I don't have to take Blue Chew anymore if I'm eating seafood.
I don't know what that is, but I drink a ton of Mountain Dew now.
Oh, isn't that really bad?
It shrinks your balls.
Yeah.
Right?
4's enough.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't have to worry anymore.
You got snipped?
When you wanted me on last week, I said I couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm holding my legs together.
And they don't knock you out for that, huh?
I was nervous we would talk about it here because no one will ever get it done after I tell what happened
Yeah,
on
tell me
Monday
what
this
happened.
week. But do you want to hear about it?
It can't be as bad.
God.
It can't be as bad as when I was in Houston. There was a dude who got that done and something went wrong, and one of his nuts became this big.
That happens a lot.
Yeah, it can't be that bad because
Yeah.
you're looking decent.
No, I
from
can
here.
cross almost all the way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I didn't tell you this because I was hoping to avoid it, but I brought ice packs with me. It's like anything, like getting your tooth pulled, except it's in the worst place ever. They don't put you out. They give you a shot.
Which is insane.
You're alone with just the doctor. They give you a shot of lidocaine, and then it's like cut, snip, solder, stitch. Do the other side, see you tomorrow, do it again. And you're like, no, thank you. You're my hero, but never again. And then you just got to be careful. I mean, that was the speed round of me explaining it because I don't want to.
Right. Yeah. No, I get it.
It would be great for this. It would
like
just,
the actual story.
I won't do it.
Did you almost pass out or what?
No, I was like sweating and like, cause you know, they're like, they burn it shut at the end. And then like, I was like wiggling my toes and like breathing through it like a deep tissue massage, which I also cry in, but only cause out of joy. And, yeah,
I
know why I was scared to do it. And I
know why you were too.
Yeah. But I mean, my wife drives an Escalade and there's barely enough room for us. Like a 5th kid. I would get one of those, like, have you ever seen those red shopping carts with like 15 kids in it and they're pushing it down the street to school? They have like name tags and leashes and stuff. I just started looking on Amazon for those instead of the car. Like, you know, we'll figure this out another way.
Yeah, that's quite the family. That's a large family. Yeah, it's great.
I think that people, like, some people be like, oh, I think I'm going to get a dog. I'm like, no, don't get a dog. Life's hard. Like, work is hard. You can't even keep your dates straight or like, you know, whatever. Like, you don't know how to use your own bidet.
Yeah.
So you got to pee like 15 times. Imagine if you had a kid.
The bathroom be clogged up.
No, you'd have to pee your pants. Your kid needs you.
I'd be in
like, change yourself. Dad's got to go. Or like,
I'd be in diapers.
Yeah, but I've thought about it. So, but no, I mean, life is difficult, and I think like adding that in, it's the best thing there is. Like, yeah, everyone that has kids would say that, but there's certain people that are like, I'm going to get a dog or I should have a kid. I'm like, maybe you should think about it.
Yeah, I can see that.
What are you willing to give up?
I got to imagine that a new level becomes unlocked with having a child. I mean, I feel like I'm living a new, completely different life that I never even expected to experience, just having a girlfriend living with me. Now, to have a child, I think is just even further. You know what I'm saying? You will just be living with the girlfriend at that point when you have the child, because the child will be her man if it's a boy. Yeah.
You will be there to watch.
You think I could sneak away and play some Rocket League or what?
Yeah, you'll be able, she won't care. She won't mean anything to her ever again. She'll have everything she needs from you. But that's what life, that's the world. That's what life is. We're supposed to do that. We're supposed to have children and families and do all that. But the world became much more dynamic and complex, and people want adventure and memories and all these other things, and they're not willing to give those up to have what used to be the American dream. And so I think it's a choice that people make nowadays, whether they do it or not. But I said it the other day, and it's like a vulnerable thing to say, but I said, I have everything I ever wanted in life, like with my family, with my wife, my home, and now I just want to keep it. And the stress that comes with that, it's harder than any stress you'll have. So instead of being like, you have everything, you should be like carefree, it's the opposite. It's so much harder. Life is so much harder once you have that. There's no going back. The risks hit that much harder. If my restaurant was slow on a Saturday, I'm like, oh no, what if this happened again, right? Or, you just think about everything. And so I think it's that much more important. You'll get it though.
No, that makes sense to me. I mean, I can relate on a lower level, but a relatable feeling I think is like, your DJ career, you're trying to take over the city of Chicago, right? You're DJing in Chicago and nobody really knows who you are, but you got Rock City and Dante and Architect and all these guys that are crushing it. And then one day, if you're lucky enough, you become the top guy. And then it's like, oh, fuck, now I got to like stay here or go to the next level in outside of the city. Detroit. He went back to Michigan. Yeah.
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 He came in when we opened our JoJo's there. He came up before we opened. We talked, gave me some pointers on the area. It's fun keeping in touch with the guys. He killed it. That Mohawk did something for him too, though.
He was definitely at the top of the game. Yeah.
When we got the big like sponsored events that would hire us to like do a product promo, like Gatorade or Sony or Mercedes, they all wanted him. Because I mean, for the photos and everything, but he was full, like start to finish. He was like a celebrity DJ in Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good for him. He was definitely like the blueprint. You looked at somebody like that and you're like, how do I become that?
Yeah.
I'm balding, so I can't.
Did you have Matt Rohn on?
No. Oh. I don't know Matt Rohn well at all.
He still DJs too?
I don't know.
Because I haven't seen, I mean, he was huge. He was all over the place as well too.
We used to book him. He's a really nice guy.
I know his name for sure, but I don't know him at all. Like, especially enough to be like, hey, come do my podcast.
Yeah.
You're pretty dope.
But he was part of the CrossFitter
I don't think he's giving
Kings.
you any platinum events type podcast.
You don't think
he
so?
He was part of CrossFitter Kings.
Yeah, which was doing the bookings at Paris. I remember having to go schmooze with Emilio, right? Was the other guy. Was that his partner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun gig. This is better for you. I like that you have the talent to do that, but it's not cool. This is cool to me. Your pod is, I think
appreciate
it's cool.
it. Thank you. No, I really appreciate you coming and doing this, and you're obviously super busy, and you got 4 kids, and you're having outpatient medical procedures done, and there's a lot going on. So I appreciate you making time and coming here, talking shit. It feels good. You're fun, It's like hanging out with a fun Jewish uncle or something.
Yeah. Through that uncle thing, he kept asking me how old I was. I like shaved this morning. You're not, so it's really hard because like the outpatient procedure, you can't work out, right? And so like before, after, during, whatever. So it's like I'm gonna come on this pod. I smashed a few tacos in the car here. I stopped at Starbucks, didn't get you guys anything. I had to really pack it on to look healthy, so you didn't make me feel so old.
He starts asking all these questions like, so do you remember back then?
I was surprised he knew Salute Your Shorts, but reruns are a big thing. So
no, I remember it when it was on.
His bidet is from my time. That's why it's...
I did look up the bidet that he said, though, and it is...
He's got all kinds of technology. He's the one who broke your laptop, by the way. He wanted you to get a new one. He's got all the good tech over there.
This isn't the one I was talking about.
He's the one who did it himself.
No, age... Bro, I want to be old. I'm looking forward to being old. Like, somebody once told me, like, being old is like the greatest gift that you can get. you're old and you have all this knowledge and you've done all these things, and like I look forward to that. I look up to people who are old. You know what I'm saying? I think
it's because you've done a lot.
Yeah.
Like every birthday, if you're like, oh, I can't believe I'm turning this age. It's like, well, what have you done by that age? Right? Like if you've accomplished and achieved enough, then you're proud to be that age. You're like, 'cause look what I've done. And that's all hard work, luck, timing, the rest of it.
That makes sense.
My grandfather each of them were almost hit 99 or 100. My grandmother was almost 100. They lived a long time. So I'm not even halfway.
What nationality are you?
So my mom's dad was Lithuanian. My mom's mom was Polish. Both of them met after the war. They lost everybody, started over, moved to the States, had her within a couple months of getting here, or the first year. My dad's dad was Hungarian and my dad's mom was Romanian, but they lived in America. They're born here. He was in the army. And so I'm a mutt. I'm all four. And I'm, a little of each. And then my last name, Schloss, is German. It means castle. So people ask me, and I'll purposely not tell them I'm Jewish or tell them I'm Jewish, depending on what they're trying to ask. So if they're trying to figure out if I am or not, I won't tell them. But if they're not asking at all, then I will. It's just fun to figure out why they're asking or what they're asking for.
Yeah, I feel that.
But I get like Lebanese, Greek. I get, I could like a chameleon.
Yeah, relatable.
Italian.
I'm a mutt as well, a little Jewish mutt.
Do you know where you're from?
My dad's parents are both from Poland, but there's some Russian in there somewhere. And my mom's mom, we recently found out, is Italian because she was adopted. And then there was some law passed where they like released your birth certificate or something. So she was able to find that and like track down her parents, and it was a whole thing. So we found out she was Italian, and then her husband was
Isn't it just
Russian.
called 23andMe? There was a law passed, and
well, no, I think there was around that time when like that
then.
stuff started coming out. Yeah, this was a while ago. Yeah. But when those
it's like a week ago.
when those sites and stuff started happening, I think laws changed or whatever. But she was never able to see her birth certificate before. And the crazy thing is that she got her birth certificate and found out that she's a twin.
See, I was gonna say you got to be careful with it because I did it I sent the 23andMe out, and then now I get messages all the time like, we're related. Can I call you? I'm like, I don't want to know anything you're telling me. Like, don't add something new to my life. And then you don't respond, and then they start telling you what it is, and it's like, I don't care.
There's that, and there's also the fact that they probably sold all of your DNA information to China, which could be an issue in the future.
I think that is the issue with it, is that they sell off your data.
Yeah.
Obviously, personal data is like gold to some of these companies now. So
so when gene editing and cloning and AI and all these things take over,
you're gonna find out you have a secret family somewhere.
It's gonna get weird.
Do you watch Ben Shapiro?
Not religiously. I mean, like if he's on Rogan, I'll listen to it.
He's Jewish, or
yeah,
because it's free.
It is free, so we don't have to pay for it. He knows his audience.
He's brilliant. Annoying as hell.
Yeah.
Like some of the other people.
My thing is
brilliant. I love listening to it.
My thing is that it's hard when somebody is like so one way and they just preach that one thing so much, it becomes repetitive to me. I need a little switch up. I need a little pushback at least.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
He had RFK Jr. on. And
love that guy.
I'm blown away. Because all we've heard this is exciting. I'm pumped now. All we've heard for years is like, this guy's a lunatic. Whatever. But if you stop, don't listen to the rhetoric that's trying to avoid him running or gaining power. And think about the fact that he was this high-powered attorney who sued Monsanto and won. Mm-hmm. He sued all these companies and won. So yeah, he's an environmentalist to some extent. And he has all these things that people talk about him being, maybe a little kooky. But why do we accept it? I just accepted it like a fool. And then I started listening to him and seeing him and being like, this guy's smart, and he's not one-sided. He's exactly what you just said. He's an independent, not just because of the race, but because he looks at each. The most interesting thing is his father and his uncle were both killed by guns, and he believes in the right of the Second Amendment, right?
Yeah.
So like, I thought all that stuff I thought was really interesting, but he takes a side based on his honest and intelligent opinion, right? And so Shapiro had him on, and they were debating, and you could see where like RFK Jr. was swaying him a little bit. And so I credit to both of them, right? But I saw Shapiro changing his mind, kind of. I thought that was kind of cool.
To me, that's the most important thing in a person, is the ability to, at the very least, take in information that is good information that may be against what you believe in or think, and be like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense, or I never looked at it that way, or you know what I mean? The ability to be swayed and maybe even say that you were wrong at some point. Like, that's a huge character description that makes a lot of...
I think the dude's got a chance.
You think so? RFK Jr.?
If people open their ears and realize, dude, if you don't defend our allies, I'm not voting for you, right? Like, I'm a patriot American, right? Like, I believe in, we made these deals, we have allies, we need to protect them, we need to protect our democracy, all these things. And, you know, the other way, it's just a divisive, difficult thing. And I want my kids to grow up in a place where they have hope, and they can admire someone who speaks for the country and enlightens people and excites us and makes us question things. And I think he would go after big business, which scares me. I think that's what scares people, that he'd go after big corporations.
In what way? To like tax them and get more money to distribute, or what?
Well, if I'm a big corporation and I make my money off of oil and gas, or I make my money off of this or that, I'm going to be investing in the candidate who helps my business the most. Mm-hmm. Just like if I'm having a hard time saving money and living my life, as much as the moral side and the social side of me wants to vote for someone, if I'm going to go broke because my taxes are so high, I might vote and be more fiscally conservative in that. Right. And it's not me personally, it's just how people vote. Different things sway them. And I think that because of that, corporations have dirty hands in a lot of ways.
It's fucked up the entire system.
He wants to expose all of it.
Yeah.
I think that scares us. I think that scares a lot of people, but we have to all know that exists, right? Like, you'd be naive to think that people aren't doing whatever they can for their business, but I think that's scary. Doesn't mean it's the wrong thing to do. Maybe the right thing right now is for all of us to have an honest, moral, hopeful person to represent us to other countries too.
Yeah, I think we definitely need that. I would love to see him win, but it's terrifying because there's never been one time in the history that an independent has won.
No.
Hopefully this could be it. That would be amazing. I mean, that's kind of like what we need right now, right? We need some like crazy world-breaking, never before happening thing. Yeah. We need that right now.
Yeah.
So I would love that. I have a funny RFK story though.
He's coming on the pod, I heard.
I wish.
Yeah, he's going to battle Justin Platinum, and then the Landons are going to have the flags going, and but we're going to have Morgan McMill outside making sure nobody gets in.
Yeah, he's going to be gardening and grilling.
Yeah.
I was in Austin for a bachelor party with my boys, and RFK tweeted about doing some sort of press thing in Austin at this hotel. So my buddy sees it. He's like, yo, we should go see this. Like, we don't have anything to do right now. Kill some time during the day. I'm like, all right, I'll go watch him. You know, we think it's going to be like some big thing. We get to the hotel. It's in a conference room of this hotel. There's 2 other people in that room. There's like one guy who has a podcast all about RFK. He's like some weird nerd guy who wanted to be there. And there's another reporter who was there to do reporting. And then it was me and my 2 friends who I'm in basketball shorts and like a t-shirt. And him standing in the room giving his speech. They're recording it,
was
whatever.
his running mate there?
No.
Have you seen her?
No. Is she hot?
Have you heard about her?
No.
First question.
Oh my God, Shanahan, Nicole Shanahan, right?
I don't know.
She was married to a billionaire in San Francisco, right?
Yeah.
Like or Silicon Valley, you know, and then I think she divorced him and married the co-founder of Google, and also billionaire. And then I think the rumor was, this could be big. I think the rumor was she cheated on him at like Burning Man, or like, I don't even know the story, with like Elon Musk or something.
Oh, nice.
There's been so much behind this, but what that tells me, because I think crazy, is she's probably attractive in more ways than her looks, right? She probably has a way with her words. She's probably here are these not just billionaires, but like superhero guys, right? And they're excited about who she is, right?
She's 38.
Yeah.
Young.
So it's young to you. I mean, I'm his old Jewish uncle. But that's intriguing to me. That's power, right? For her to have persuaded, or that's probably the wrong word, but for these,
that's what
these
she did.
superhero type men to be, you know,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
she's got a record.
That's good insight.
Yeah,
I like that.
I have no idea if any of that's true.
Do you think that all of the money that she's accumulated from divorcing these billionaires is what's helping her fund her and RFK Jr.'s presidency run?
I thought about it
Yeah.
for sure. I'm wondering if you paid for the plants that your girlfriend's planting, or she did.
We split it.
You did?
Yeah, we split it.
That's cute.
We split it.
Let's go half on it.
She offered me strawberries and grapes when I came in.
Mm-hmm.
So I offered her a job, because that's the best hospitality I've had in Logan Square in about 15 years.
I'm dead.
Were those from your garden?
No, she just planted them, so nothing's grown yet.
They looked super fresh.
Aldi. Cheap.
I should have said yes. I said no because I, just was nervous. They looked great. So
Yeah.
good for her.
You're talking about the strawberries and the grapes, or?
That too.
Okay.
Yeah. I also saw the bidet in the corner, and I'm like, I got to use that thing somehow. No, great hospitality in your place.
Thank you.
And you didn't make me take my shoes off, which might have been weird because I chase my kids in my socks sometimes. You don't know what those look like.
Yeah, I don't want to have you on here with dirty feet on the
Yeah.
bottom. It could have been bad. Got a reputation I'll hold. But hold on, let me finish the RFK Jr. story.
Oh, I thought you were in a room with him alone. I didn't think Secret Service would
it
let
was-
us hear the rest.
It
I was
was-
like, dude, we gotta.
It was ridiculous.
I want him to win. Like, don't.
It was
Did he
insane,
shit on the kitchen
right?
floor?
Been exposed
Was he the
right
guy? God.
So it's all over, whatever. He's like, who wants to take pictures? We're taking pictures with him, this and that. And I have this Larry David tattoo, obviously.
Oh my! That's why you love Ricky so much.
Yeah.
He is. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I know that RFK Jr. and Larry David are good friends. So I show him the tattoo, and he's like, oh my God, that's great. I got to take a picture of it and send it to Larry.
Because RFK Jr.'s wife was Larry David's co-host.
Exactly. That's how they met. Larry David introduced them.
Oh, not because he's married to.
No. Yeah. Larry
Really?
David was friends with RFK Jr. I saw all this on a podcast.
Wow.
And obviously working with Cheryl, and they met through Larry David.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So he took
he
a
saw
picture
your
of
tattoo?
it. He took a picture of it, sent it to Larry David, which is crazy in and of its own. And then his social media guy took a picture of him taking a picture of my tattoo and posted that on his story.
So when you meet people that talk about him, are you like, yeah, he's my boy?
Kind of. Sometimes.
Because he kind of is.
Yeah, this is my boy.
This happens.
I'm
So
surprised it doesn't frame somewhere around here, though.
this happens to me.
Let him become
I'll say people are my boys. I don't have any tattoos. I
Let that
should.
man become president. I dare you. That picture's going everywhere.
You have
I'm getting
the picture.
billboards. I have the picture of him
Where
taking a
is it?
picture of
I
my
see
tattoo.
the Beatles.
I'll send it to you right now.
Alec Monopoly.
I should put it on the
Is that
wall,
Alec
huh?
Monopoly?
No, come on. That's from fucking
You
Canva
deserve
or
an Alec
something.
Monopoly.
Will you get me one?
I brought you gifts.
What'd you bring?
I brought you. So I do this weird thing where I save things like stamps, except I'm cooler than that, so I don't save stamps. I save the hats that I got when we opened clubs.
Nice.
Why?
It's a nice memento.
I was hoping
that
one
what it's
day I would be on a pod with like an old buddy and I would give him all those hats to put up so that when people talk about a club, he'd be like,
right there, up there.
Do we have room for all those hats? It's a lot. I'm looking at them.
I'm not going to give you all of them.
Okay.
But I was really late because the mayor didn't read the room and there was lots of construction.
He's not great at his job, which
Apparently
is weird.
he said the other day, or someone said it for him, I know I'm terrible, but it's my first time. Which you said in high school. She told me.
That's horrific.
You know what hats I brought? You know what hats I brought? I brought a Cedar Hotel hat. Did you ever go there?
I played there.
That was legit.
That was the spot.
The spot. That's why I wanted to open Shore Club.
That
Cedar
was the
Hotel got
spot.
bought, and it became,
some
lame
bullshit.
corporate bullshit brunch place, which is actually pretty good, but not really. And Punch Bowl Sundays was like my day that I promoted, and we crushed. It was so fun. People need to enjoy Chicago summers during the day, and don't do it on a rooftop. Don't do it on pavement in the city, melting at someone's rooftop. Come do it by us.
You do it in the sand.
Yeah. Or at Cedar Hotel, which isn't there anymore. So come to us.
That was
But I brought you a hat.
Architect put me in there.
Yeah.
Architect got me the slot DJ in there, and then also Stout, which is Bisbee's, or was.
I still talk to Mike. That is cool. People don't realize that he just reopened Rhino.
Mm-hmm. Have you been in there?
Yeah.
It's really nice. I like it a lot.
Very well done. Very
like it a lot.
cool. Him and I talk quite a bit because Parlor's next to JoJo's, and he's done real well with Parlor. There's a Parlor in River North. It's in the old Kiefer space on
on Kinsey, right? From across from Ditka's.
Yeah, JoJo's is right.
Yeah.
So we share an alley, and I think we share cooks and like fry oil sometimes, and we share the same homeless guy.
Yeah.
Well, I don't share them, but
yeah.
They asked me today to pay for underprivileged kids to help clean up Hubbard Street. And I was like, what?
Who's they?
I don't know, like the Restaurant Association.
Okay.
And you kind of have to just say yes to everything because you're just scared. Like, I don't know, can they get mad at me? But I sell milkshakes and cheeseburgers and pay a ton in taxes and we clean it up. We already power wash and clean. I was like, I kind of feel like strong-armed into doing this. Like, it's like, when you're like leaving the grocery store with 2 shopping carts and the guy with the Santa Claus ringing the bell for
mesothelioma.
See, you never gave him money, did you?
I said the Salvation Army. That's usually
but does it really go there?
You're right. You're right. It is Salvation.
Because I don't give him money, but when I'm at Rana, Japan, my kids are putting quarters down that thing the whole time. Like koi ponds, all my money. Salvation Army, no fucking way.
Yeah. Know your audience.
True. True.
It's illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where I was at there.
Well, you said that they were strong arming you into giving them money.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Because Bisbee and I are friends.
Yeah, they probably.
And he moved up north. But no, it was cool because Rhino was probably one of my favorite spots ever. And like, to its credit, compared to what they do today, it was a complete shithole. Like, there was just nothing nice really about it, or maybe it just got abused by so many people. But it was so fun. Right? It was so cool. And then we in the kitchen again. Mm-hmm. And so bringing back Rhino, which I don't know if you know this, but Rhino's River North. It's an acronym.
Rhino is...
It's not spelled like a rhinoceros, even though he has a rhinoceros
Right, there's
head.
no H.
It's RINO, like
right.
River North.
Oh,
and
River
Smoky
North.
Hollow, my nightclub, which was in the old Rhino space. Smoky Hollow is the original name for River North after the 20s.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it was a smoky hollow with prostitutes and, smokestacks, and that's the type of place it was. And we were reinventing that speakeasy, Prohibition era nightclub. And so it was we paid homage to both those things and Rhino.
I like that.
Bisbee does a good job too. Parlor crushes.
Dude, he is absolutely crushing. I had so much respect for that dude because when I was working at Stout, he was there every night standing at the door. Like, to me, obviously I don't own any spots, but if I were to own a spot, I feel like I would have to be in there
It's interesting.
making sure that it's fucking going the way that I want it to go. And I feel like that's what he was
We're
doing.
taking investors in JoJo, so I think if you put money in, you could be there every night at JoJo's ShakeBAR.
If I was invested in it,
Cleaning out the alley.
You can.
If I was invested in it,
I'll
I'd
trade
be
you
there.
the DJ set. I'm
how
scared
much-
of this rider he's going to draw up now.
Oh god.
I'll take over at JoJo's. Can I do how about like a JoJo's Skokie? Can I run the Skokie location?
For a bowl of grapes and strawberries. We're looking. We're always looking at places. Parlor's great. Texan tacos. Wow. Bro, heaven.
Crushing.
Yeah. I mean, bros.
I mean,
But he does
Parlor,
really well.
when
It's
he opened
amazing.
up that Parlor in the West Loop, it just exploded.
Yeah,
like,
that
I don't
was-
even think he marketed it. I think he just opened it and it was like people saw it and they're like, this is incredible. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And it just exploded.
Yeah.
All to this day, always busy. He's crushing
Pizza's
for
good.
sure. The pizza's awesome. Yeah.
I got a brick oven pizza oven at my house, and I'll have like people over and everyone makes their own pizza and throws it in, and I cheat and I just put jardiniere all over mine every time, so it's always the best. And everyone says how good it is. It's not. I'm not good at it. Everyone's just really nice to me because it's my house. And I keep inviting people over and making them eat this not so good pizza. It's fucked up. But it's so great to
When's
get
the next party?
compliments.
You think they like talk between?
You want to come over?
When's that? Me and Diamond Cut want to
Yeah.
come.
Just bring. Why? I
You
don't
already
live.
gave us the notion
Did you
that
wait?
it's not gonna be good though. Now we can't lie.
I like to manage expectations.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Um,
He didn't get this far not knowing what he's doing.
It's did you go hang out with Justin that day after the pod?
So I saw him. I pulled up to I pulled up to the
That's very sincere and admirable.
to the home that I was going to the dinner at, and he was outside.
In his car?
He was going to his car to go to his parents' house for Passover dinner.
He's picking a girl up on the way.
Probably.
He's driving her.
She was probably a shixie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. My parents are in Florida, so I gotta beg them to come here, and they're usually like, "Why? We love
Yeah.
your kids, but Chicago,
Yeah.
winter."
They're probably watching Fox News. They see it's not great over
no,
here.
they don't watch Fox. Yeah,
They're on CNN.
we have a, but I didn't watch Fox either until October 8th. Started watching Fox religiously.
It's
and
on
if you
all
know
the
what
TVs
I mean.
at JoJo.
Yeah. We play reruns of like Fresh Prince and just all 80s and 90s happy stuff.
Classics.
You know, yeah.
What's the playlist like in there, and who makes it?
The music
Yeah.
or the movies? Because we have a playlist for both.
Music first, and then movies.
Music. So we play a lot of Biggie. We like Biggie. Biggie's on the wall. Biggie liked Shakes. I don't know if you could tell.
Oh yeah.
A lot of Madonna, some Michael Jackson, which can be, somewhat controversial, but I don't think so. We knew exactly what it was the whole time. No one was listening to him being like, this guy is super normal, and I would totally trust him with my children. No one said that.
Oh,
But-
I thought you were saying that. I was like, wait a second.
No,
Okay.
no one
Okay.
said that. But, I don't want my kid around Diddy either now. So what's the difference? But we play his music. Prince.
Are you playing R. Kelly? Let's get down to the brass tacks here.
We don't play R. Kelly.
Okay. I do.
But I would. I don't because I actually care what my consumers think and our guests think. And there are guests that tell us what they don't want to hear. Like we play 50 Cent in the club or birthday, whatever,
In the club, yeah.
in the club for people's birthdays. And they're swearing the whole time and there's kids all over there. And it's like,
You can get a clean version of that, though,
Nah,
if
you
you
can't.
wanted.
I mean, there's barely any language.
Words
Well,
left.
yeah, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
If I could play anything, I'd play Eazy-E all day. I think it's the funniest. I loved Eazy-E growing
Yeah?
up.
Give me
Yeah,
Eazy-E,
automobile.
give me
Give me
Yeah.
that nut. If you be good to me, I'll be good to you. We can both ride home in my automobile.
Did you watch Defiant Ones?
Oh, like the
It's a
documentary?
docu-series,
No.
yeah. It's dope.
I'm behind on too much.
There's a lot of Eazy-E in there. It's tight. You'd like it if you like Eazy-E.
the 80s and 90s music was unbelievable. And we play some 2000s, but that's it. Nothing current ever.
And who makes the playlist? Do you make it?
Yeah, we made it. I mean, you only have to make it once.
There's no way that you made one playlist and that's all
there aren't
you
new
use.
artists from the 80s and 90s. You just do it. I mean, if you want to come in and help me filter it, we've removed things over the years.
Yeah.
Every time there's a new scandal that comes out, we remove that artist for about 30 days, and then we bring them back in.
Right.
It's a novelty after
Slowly integrate them back in. Yeah, that's hilarious.
But yeah, the music's super fun. Everyone, it's sing along to some extent.
That's actually like a hilarious thing. Is like, you know, if you just want to make a playlist once, make your playlist based on some music genre that is never going to change because it's from the past.
Our staff will be like, Can we get a new playlist? We've been listening to the same thing. I'm like, just so you know, I haven't changed the CD in my car since college. Mostly because I don't have a CD player in my car. But I still listen to the same stuff all the time. I mean, Tupac and Biggie, and I also do like the Bon Jovi, Aerosmith. My kids sing President of the U.S., the Millions of Peaches.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, I'll find those great hits, and I love that. I'm a big fan of that era. It was a happy time.
Yeah.
Trap music doesn't really do it for me.
It's not the best.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite. Did you venture, like, into, like, deeper cuts of the 90s and stuff? Like the Tribe Called Quest and the Nas and all that? You like all that stuff?
Yeah. Love Nas.
Yeah.
The Fugees just rang a bell when you were going down that road. Yeah. I liked the Fugees.
The Score.
Yeah. I think DJs use that era often. Or they at least they used to, and bring it in with those mashups. I mean, I came from the DJ Earworm like era.
Earworm was the guy that was making all the crazy mashups on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like you're talking like in 1999 and like 2000, like 2005, like those New Year's Eve parties, like I think it was always the next day or something that it would come out, and those were awesome.
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's hilarious.
This cloud couch is something else.
You like it?
I think you're gonna have to help me get out.
I got you. How much time do you got? What do you got going on after this?
The longer I'm here, the less responsibility I'll have at home.
Yeah. So, I mean, we could wrap it up. You can hang out in the backyard and check out our garden if you want.
Those strawberries. It was cool. I planted this week.
At your house, or you're talking Shore Club?
So yesterday I had my 5-year-old. We had a mandate. My wife took the girls to my in-laws' house in the city, and Duke and I went to the Jungle of Niles to look at palms for Shore Club. They have like giant palm trees there.
I need to go there. I haven't been, but my brother wants to go there with me.
There's a parrot jungle. Like inside it, you pay $15 and you go in with like 200 parakeets and they feed out of your hands. It is the scariest thing I've ever done. I was telling my son, like, oh, you'll have fun, whatever. And the whole time I was terrified. And then like one swooped down and I like threw him in front of me so he would get hit by the bird. And then I like fed these big 50-year-old kois. And then there's like, you know, the weird animals that people own, like cats. I'm kidding.
You're not a cat guy?
No, I'm allergic. So
you doing all right? You need a Benadryl?
I saw it. Black cat? Really?
She's got a black
Seriously?
cat.
What kind of dress code do you have?
One's black and white, but she, you know, that did scare me a little bit in the beginning. I was like, you have a black cat? This is...
Oh, it's her.
Oh, yeah, it's her.
You know what they say.
What do they say?
I don't know what they say.
Once you go black, you don't go back.
Oh, this is true. I do love the cat.
They don't say that anymore?
I do love... You know, it's taken a break, that phrase, but I think it's coming back soon.
Oh, it's good. That was good for that community. Right? It's a good stereotype.
It's true. That's the thing, though, is people don't like stereotypes, whether they're good or bad.
I love our stereotypes.
I do as well.
I love our stereotypes.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah. I actually bounced like 3 checks on the way here, and I'm like, see?
It's not true.
We don't have that much money. Someone was yelling at me. I'm like swerving on the freeway. Like, what are you doing? I'm like trying to direct deposit. If only you knew what I was going through. I'm just kidding. Is he okay?
He's good.
You disappeared.
No, I was putting the clip on you. I'm like, okay, we could use this.
Yeah. So I was with Duke, and we were at Jungle of Niles, and everything was too expensive for me.
No,
so,
stop it.
Anyway, so I got him out of there, went to Home Depot, bought myself a red maple tree, but I'm not supposed to carry anything. So I stopped at Taco Bell. It's his favorite joint. Real high class palate. Ate at Taco Bell, went home, and I got home, and I'm like, listen, dude, like, you're going to help Dad because Dad's not allowed to do anything. So I have this clip of my 5-year-old digging in my backyard, which might have looked weird for my neighbors that I was just yelling at him and telling him what to do as he digs a hole as deep as him. But then I put the tree in it, and we planted this red maple, and we planted an apple tree in the front because Mother's Day is this weekend. So now he gets to tell his mom what he did for her. And we planted in the garden cucumbers and mint to keep the squirrels out, and strawberries and tomatoes and all kinds of stuff. So they're excited to see that grow.
That's awesome.
I'm a fellow farmer from Ohio.
I'm loving this new life that I got. I've never planted anything in my entire life. I still haven't to this day. I watched her do it, but maybe next year.
You got to go in there and at least get your fingernails dirty.
Yeah.
So later you can be like, man, that was hard. I still have dirt in my nails.
Yeah.
You know? She'll appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah. She loves it. I love it. You're doing this and you have kids and you got 9 locations and this other business. And do you, I don't know if this is like a rude question, do you have other business ventures that you're in as well, other than restaurants?
We did.
And nightlife?
We have a lot of investments that we get into, some real estate stuff that I do with my friends. My thing is like finding your friends. Who's great at something, and then how do you get behind them and let them be your avenue to success in other ways. I can only control what I do and what I'm good at. I'm good with people. I'm good with guests. I'm good with numbers. I'm good with, I love to eat. But then, so it's like, I have a friend that's a real estate analyst, and I give him every penny I can. I have these 2 buddies in real estate tech. This company is blowing up. It's amazing. And it's helping realtors grow their book of business through this marketing platform called Fellow, and it's lights out. This thing is going to change the entire landscape of real estate forever, and they're on their way. I mean, they're big time already, and so I've gotten into some stuff like that. I did an app a long time ago called Booth Buddy with some old buddies, and you were able to like book on-demand tables at sports bars. This is back in the Bull Bear days. And I wish we would have followed through with it. We had the app, we launched, we just didn't raise enough money to get behind it.
Is this like pre-Open Table? Like you could have been
No, there was Open Table, but Open
okay.
Table just now launched experiences where you can book like special stuff. Mm-hmm. But this is like if you wanted a table at Bounce, how did you get one? How do you still to this day, like, or Bottled? I forgot which place you hung out with the cig apps. So
it was ZBT actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Religious. ZBT. Yeah. So there's no good way to book tables. You have to call Jamel or Morgan or me or someone. And I was like, well, I'm getting old and I'm tired of talking to people about minimums. Like, let's put it on a marketplace where everyone can go on, see the places that are available and book it. And I put 40 venues on it because I had the venues.
All in Chicago?
Yeah. And I was going to go bigger. And it was just like, how do you get people to download it? People already have like so many apps, you know?
Marketing, right? Which you're good at.
You needed to raise a ton of money to do it though. So it just gave up. But no, I'm into other stuff. It's hard. We're super focused on JoJo's right now.
So like more so investments. Like, yes, you're making money in other places, but you're not necessarily devoting a ton of time. You're putting money up more than time, right? And you're letting whoever's...
Yeah, I'll answer any call and try and give my 2 cents and my advice on stuff, but it's mostly passive stuff.
Yeah.
And my wife's a career woman, and she crushes it, and
Nice.
super proud of her, and try and help her any way I can if she's got questions. My sister's an entrepreneur. She has an events company. Try and help her. Working on something with my brother. He wants to do med spas.
It's big.
So we're talking.
Ozempic sales are high right now.
I trade options for myself because that's what I used to do before I moved to Chicago. I was in private wealth. And so I still do that for a few hours every day. I try and do what I can. I'm terrible at it still. And, but I was big on Eli Lilly.
Is that the company that owns Ozempic?
They did pretty well. They've done pretty well. And I don't think it'll stop, but I got out.
Well, you did? Have the pill coming up soon.
Yeah. Yeah, I got out. I put all my money into like the companies making fighter jets because that seems more important right now than weight loss.
Weight loss, yeah. Fighter jets, their time's coming.
There's a new one that I'm getting, QuantumScape. I got in a couple, like 2-3 years ago. They're building solid state batteries, and you'll hear that one will be on the news. I think 2 years from now.
Yeah. So you're doing other things.
I'm hustling.
You're hustling,
and I still do chill production stuff.
Really?
Yes, St. Patty's Day every year, and I do other stuff too. We have events and festivals.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. It's inspiring, and I'm glad that you were here to tell us about it, and for me to learn about it and soak up a little bit of game. Anyone watching, you're on camera, so that's always good. I love to be able to share the information because, I mean, to be completely honest, the only reason I've gotten anywhere that I'm at today is from listening to people who are in a position that I aspired to be in, right? Like architect. He was running the city DJing, and I'm like, I want to do that. So anything he told me, I did, and it's definitely helped me up until this point.
I'm happy to hear he's crushing it. I got to catch up with something. Like, this is how I'm finding out like where people are at. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to plug or talk about, or?
No, I mean, it's hot under these lights right now.
It's hot.
It's
You're sweating. Hot. I see the sweat beading.
I think you were trying to get me out of here a few times where he's like, let's wrap this up. Let's talk about whatever.
I just feel bad for Diamond Cut because he has to edit the whole episode, and the longer it is, the more work he's got to do.
Your episodes are long.
Yeah.
I finish them, though.
The guy who edits.
I finish them.
I appreciate it.
Sometimes it takes me 2 sessions, but I pause them.
I'll come back into this.
You have stiff competition in my house because there's like Moana and Frozen and all these.
I'm battling the Disney princesses.
You have gotten more views recently though than Take Your Shoes Off.
That's not true, but I'll take it.
No, from
you
from
mean
me,
in your house?
From me,
yeah.
No, he gets like millions.
I was like, wait a second.
Hopefully he'll get some more. Your podcast is pretty big now, so this is a pretty big shout out. We've talked about Rick Glassman a few times.
Yeah, I would love to meet that guy and just not even meet him. I want to watch him live. He's so funny. I've seen him stand up a bunch. Did you see his little crowd work, like 17-minute crowd work thing that he put out just recently?
Improv?
I think
was it where he told the guy to fight him?
Yes.
I was watching it.
Great.
It's
so
wild.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. There's a lot of podcasters who I love their podcast so much, and then I watch their stand up and I'm not as big of a fan. Like I would much rather watch you bullshit and like be goofy on a pod than like give me what you think is the greatest thing you've created. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous to watch Rick's special. I was like, God, I hope I don't hate this. Loved it.
You know what I think? Because if I sit here any longer, I'm going to chew through this couch to find my water.
Yeah.
I think, as bogus as I'm being, I think you should do a pod from the beach so that anyone who watches this can actually see it.
We can do that 100%.
We were actually talking about that.
How cool would that be?
We have one with Morgan because we're doing it at his place.
Yeah, next week we're going all the way down to almost Indiana to visit Morgan McMeal.
Why he's like, I'm not driving you?
He came here once and couldn't stop complaining about how far up north it was. And
how many tickets do I have right now, by the way?
Where'd you park?
On your curb?
On the west side of the alley or the east side of the alley?
No, I just pulled up on the curb.
Oh, you'll be fine.
No, I'm kidding. Just across from you. It's permit only. I don't care.
Okay. You probably don't have any, to be honest. It's someone.
I kind of like it over
They
here.
have to call. Like a neighbor has to be
really?
like, hey, there's someone on my street.
Oh.
For the most part, yeah.
All right.
But yeah, we tried that on there. That would be dope as fuck.
We could 100% set up like a.
It would work.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be amazing. I mean, I looked at some pictures.
You have to bring all this stuff. Could you bring his broken laptop?
This is set design, so we can bring it.
I think it would be incredible.
Yeah.
You can bring the table, the whole table.
Here's the question though: who do we have on? Me, you. Who's the guest?
We need to get some.
We don't have to, but it'd be fun.
No,
Who would be a fun guest?
I gave you everything I had today, and I think I did really well with what I have.
You're incredible.
I mean, the doctor told me like
you're the Funkle.
You don't have much, so
You're the Funkle.
I'm the what?
You're the Funkle.
The Funkle.
Yeah.
How cool is that? Like Uncle Jesse, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're actually buddies. I have a tattoo of him on my ankle, and we were in this hotel room once, just me and Jesse, and I was showing him it. No, that was your story.
I was like, okay, where are we going?
Nah, not at all. But I like this nickname, Funkle.
You never heard that before?
No, my brother's Uncle Monkey to my kids.
Funkle, the fun uncle.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, I thought it was fucking old uncle. I was like, God.
I'm gonna be a Funkle soon at the end of this month. Actually, my brother's having a baby.
Being the fun uncle is probably the coolest thing you could ever be.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's awesome.
But yeah, let's 100%
Who should we have?
I mean,
can we have Kennedy?
RFK Jr. You got the connects like that?
You do. You said he was your boy.
He
connects now.
He definitely posted a picture of us. I don't know if he'll respond to my message though. I can try.
Your girlfriend looks like a young version of his wife.
I'll take that. I
think that you should be careful. That black cat might be suspect a little bit here.
What do you think's gonna happen?
I don't know if he's persuasive.
He might take her, you think?
He would be cool. What's our second option?
I would let that happen, and I would want to watch.
Yeah.
Another picture of the wall.
Who else could we do? Who could we have?
I mean, I think it would be really fun to have someone as fun as you in terms of like someone you know closely who can bust your balls a little. You can bust their balls. Is a fun Chicago guy who has stories and experience in nightlife. You know, I'm sure like if Morgan was in here right now, it'd be a great time. Everybody be making fun of each other.
I wouldn't talk. He would just own me.
Yeah. Same. That's what he does.
He's just so good at that.
That's what he does.
Yeah. I would just, that'd be it. He's not the Funkle. He's the Sunkle.
He's the borderline mean uncle. Yeah.
He's actually very funny, incredibly intelligent.
He's hilarious.
Yeah. And I think he's the only guy that has 2 Louisville Sluggers in his trunk.
In case the first one breaks or what?
He just swings them both at the same time.
Oh.
He's like a superhero doorman.
Yeah.
Nah, he's great. We'll think of someone. We'll do it at Shore Club. When's your set? I have to write a check. I'll post
June
it.
June 8th. Saturday, June 8th. Right? What time? What's the headlining time?
I think you'll be 12 to 4.
12 to 4.
Yeah.
12 to 4, Saturday, June 8th, Shore Club, North Avenue Beach. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Let's do it.
I'm excited.
Shore Club.
What's your favorite kind of house? I remember you said something about like French house, right?
I like French disco.
French disco.
You know, like I'm into like that disco vibe. I think it plays real well. The beach, that serene feel, like trying to get that vibe going where people are having a good time. You have that tempo and that speed, but you feel like that deeper bass and you enjoy it. We can't do sing along. That's just too corny, but like there's plenty of music that people are familiar with. And mashups that you can do. So we'll talk about it. I'll definitely I'll keep you in your comfort zone for sure, but I think you crush it. You'll love it.
Yeah, you just let me know what you want. I'll do the research prior. I'll get the music that
well, you got to come by.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Bring the grapes and the strawberries.
I'm going to bring the girl.
You guys can come. I'm going to get you no seafood.
Seafood.
We have a lot of seafood on the menu. Do you like steak?
Oh yeah.
Oh, chimichurri skirt steak at Shore Club crushes.
I'm in.
It's awesome.
That's my wheelhouse right there.
Yeah, and then you'll have the sea bass because you're like a real person.
He's got an
Does your girlfriend eat
experienced
seafood?
palate. Shh. I'm going to tell you this now. I'm not excited for what's going to come after, but she's a vegan.
Oh, great. We have a vegan souvlaki.
Oh, nice.
Kills it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Perfect.
I got something for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we come for friends and family or what?
Yeah.
The 17th?
Yeah.
May 17th, Friday?
Let's do it.
I'm sorry, the 4th. Yeah, 17th.
Can you get him a calendar?
Yeah,
How
we'll
do
be
you guys
here.
do this?
May
What if you
17th.
double booked me today?
I mean, to be fair, we did message back and forth a lot about like locking this in, and I was.
You sent me a message on Instagram and I didn't see it because, life. And then I was like, I think you were like, "Are we still good for today?" I'm like, "Yeah." What if I said no? Right?
That's why I check. A lot of people are like, "Oh, I forgot. You booked this vacation or something."
Yeah.
Or
But
you could be in the emergency
don't
room.
have them. Those are the guys that show up to the club unprepared.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No, don't have them on here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Those are
Justin was early. And he was waiting out front in his car before, and when you drove to the suburbs, he was probably waiting out there.
He was waiting out there. He had
Cool car.
changed. He
He's
had
got cool plate.
changed his clothes. He had a little dangly earring on this time.
I brought a change of clothes in case it was like really hot in here.
You're gonna need them.
I needed it the whole time.
Do you work out at a gym? Are you a member to a nice gym?
I'm a member of lots of gyms.
Where are you at?
Midtown.
Are you Midtown?
Yeah.
We should go get a
Lifetime.
Schwitz one
I don't
day.
go to them.
Let's go have
It makes me feel good to pay them. So it's like I'm paying them off. Like, don't tell anyone I don't go.
How about the next time we see each
I don't go to
other
Midtown anymore.
is naked in the sauna at Midtown?
Do you one towel or two?
I go one towel around the waist, one towel on my lap, and one towel over my shoulders.
Oh,
I'm a 3-towel guy.
it's so weird. I do two, but I just do one around my like here and one around my head.
Yeah.
And that's it. Really.
You're not man enough to go. You're not that guy.
I don't even go into the steam because I'm scared of the guys that have 3 towels. I like it in there. I have a steam at home and I use it a lot.
Yeah.
The Midtown one downtown, that steam's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great gym.
Yeah. Oh,
We should go one day.
let's do Short Club first. I don't need
Okay.
to make steam plans with you.
All right. All right.
Do you guys steam? And what is
I'll bring Diamond Cut in on a guest pass.
it's
kind
true.
of
The
afraid to at
Schwitz is a
this point.
thing. This is
The Schwitz.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get
We
a
should
little
wrap.
Schwitz.
He's going to be here editing for like
I
6
know.
days. But this is me. I could do this all day. I like it.
Yeah, well, we could still hang out and talk and schmooze it up a little bit, but we'll just turn the cameras off and I won't feel so bad that I'm still paying him the same amount, but he's doing more work.
He's got a good laugh.
He's great. That's
Yeah, I appreciate it. I need that.
doing a pod without him. Like sometimes I'll have to record on a Saturday
I
or
would've
something
bought a
when he's not
bodyguard.
here. It's not as good because you
Yeah.
need
By
Diamond
the
Cut-
way, there was no witness in the room when I had my procedure the other day, and I thought that was weird for a medical procedure. Yeah. Not
Is
as
there-
uncomfortable as this, but close.
Is there supposed to be a witness?
In any medical procedure. What if, they can't videotape it because that would be even more weird.
Well, maybe-
Yeah, there was no one there. I'm like, you're going to give me lidocaine, right? You're not just going to, he just like rested the blade on my leg. I'm like, okay, whoa, wait a second. There's no one else here.
What do you just-
And you're in a striped suit. You're not even in, who are you?
Are you
even a
just
doctor?
sitting on a chair with your legs spread,
I don't
no
wanna talk
pants
about
on,
it.
or what?
Yeah.
Do they do it just in their office too? It's not
I kept my watch on.
Or did they put
So
you?
I could-
They put you in the OBGYN stirrups?
No, you didn't do that. No, I
The
didn't do
little
that.
swings come out.
That would have been nice, though. That'd be nice for this. Just here.
We
I
get
would
some
use
stirrups
those.
for the
I don't
pod.
I can't.
This.
I don't know how people cross their legs. This is the most I can do.
Well, that's how a man crosses his legs.
Thanks.
A woman, a funkle, yeah. A woman would do like knee to knee. We're ankle to knee.
This was awesome.
Yeah.
I'm happy you had me on. I'm excited. We'll save some for the short club pod.
app. Yeah.
And we'll do it. We won't just talk about it. But you should do another one, Justin.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it some time to simmer for sure. It's not happening, too soon, but
And I'll come to one of your sets. It'll be work for me.
that's what I'm talking
And
about.
you tell me where you're at. Like, give me 2 weeks because I need some time to smooth it over, and I'll
Yeah.
come see you play.
You should come to Bodega when I'm there in June.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That
That
sounds-
would be
which
fun.
one?
The West Loop, Taqueria.
Okay, I've been there before. Cool.
That's
I'm
a
in.
fun spot.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. No, thank you for coming very much. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next time. We'll set up the Short Club one. I'll see you for the set. I'll see you before that for the friends and family.
Yeah.
We're boys now. I mean, RFK is going to have to move over.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. And for him.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for him.
Yeah. Well,
you should too.
Thank you guys for watching. If you've made it this far into the pod, I appreciate it. And if you could do me one last favor, just like, subscribe, drop a comment on the YouTube. Algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see here. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.